Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Tuesday morning. We have a long stream today, everybody. We have a long stream today because, man, all the cases we're covering, I had everything lined up just to do Jack and Lilly. And I found something I have never heard talked about before in Jack and Lilly. Pretty wild. And I got receipts. Well, the person that showed it got receipts. I just fell upon it yesterday. I was like, whoa, wild. So stick around for that. And Sebastian, of course, was the plan. And then we got updates from all of you. Thank you, all of you who send me stuff. I appreciate it. I really do. At this point, I cannot get on Facebook. However, for some reason, I've been banned, just so you know. So if you send me something from Facebook, it has to be a picture. However, I suddenly, after trying, saying you're banned, just got a text on my phone yesterday or the day before from the MMO Tarot Facebook group I tried to set up from Facebook. And usually, so I haven't attempted to see, because I tried that before. They ask you for a video to prove you're human and up and down and look around and got violated that. Apparently I didn't come off looking human. Sorry, it's funny, but not funny. I can't find any news on Gus. I thought he was found. Not that I've seen yet. Hello. You're welcome in, Sherry. Have you heard Gus is found? Because we're going to talk about that. I just got a quick update from Kika, who Kika or Kika. I know she sent me an email saying her husband and her laughed because I pronounced her name wrong. So I'm so sorry. She's from Australia and she's really been interested in this case, obviously. Anyways, I don't know what you're talking about, Krista. Oh my God, I get it. I don't know what that is. Anyways, let's say hi to everybody really quickly. There's 30 of you in here. We got a lot to cover. We've got an update, a short update on Gus. We've got a wild update on Melody Buzzard. And I took the time to go back and check the reading I did. Y'all. Okay. I'm going to create, when I have time, I'm going to find a time to create a couple of videos. I told you so. Remember the judge that I said was pedophile into pedophilia stuff and Brian Enton's been covering it? Well, I was right there too. So not saying I'm right on all cases, trust me. But yeah, it's just been interesting. So we're going to do that. Sebastian Rogers, Melody Buzzard. I got a quick update on Anna. Anna, oh my God, why can I not remember her name right now? From the cruise ship. And so let's just say hi to everybody. Let's say hi to everybody. Krista and Kitty, thanks for being the wonderful mods here. Lindsay, it's so nice to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while. Same with Deanna. Nice to see you ladies back here again. Marie, welcome in. Falcor's dad, welcome in. Say hi to our mods. Kitty, I thought Kitty was here. Did I see that incorrectly? I think I did. Anyway, let's get into it because we have a long stream for you. Anna Kepler, sorry. Wild updates. That's the young woman who was found on the cruise, deceased under her bed, right? And we heard the stories, recovered it here from her stepbrother. From her stepbrother, saying that from the ex-boyfriend rather of Anna, saying that the stepbrother, he witnessed him being obsessed with her. He tried to mount her in bed. But here we're hearing a different story from the grandparents, which is very confusing. So did this kid have an obsession? What if he did? Was it hidden from the grandparents? Because they seem to have a completely different sense of reality with what went on in this case. Okay, let's check this out, or at least what went on rather with prior, like what, my God, if I could speak. I'm trying to copy this ABC7 here. ABC7. Maybe I should put my coffee down. Should have got the banners ready ahead of time. That's something I'm going to have to try to do for y'all. ABC News. I know other people don't do this, but I like to give credit where credit's due and not get into trouble. So let's listen into this because, well, it's very enlightening in some ways.
A teenager who was found dead on a Carnival cruise ship, as the girl's stepbrother could be facing charges. Victor Kenda's in Miami. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, George. This is a very tight-knit family. We met Anna Kepner's grandparents just after they learned the cause of death, and they shared some very painful details about what happened on that cruise ship.
This morning, for the first time, the grandparents of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who died on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month, breaking their silence.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner were on board the 7-day cruise in the Caribbean with their son, his wife, and their grandchildren, enjoying time as a family. Anna staying with her brother and stepbrother in a stateroom, seen here.
Do you remember the last time that you saw Anna?
We had dinner. Anna wasn't feeling well. She just said, Mima, I think I'm going to go back to my room for a little bit. And she must have felt better because she got dressed up and she came down. We were playing in the casino. She didn't win anything. And she said, Mima, I love you guys. I'll see you later. And we never saw her again after that.
The next morning, an announcement over the ship's broadcast system changed everything.
They called for a medical alert team to go to a stateroom. And when they said the number, I recognized the number immediately. The room steward that was going in to clean the room is the one that found her.
She was found concealed under the bed. I was told that she pulled back the mattress and found Anna.
What did the FBI say was the official cause of death?
The FBI contacted my son and family and told us our cause of death was asphyxiation.
Anna's grandmother said one possibility.
So I don't know if they were on the cruise or not, but this is, hey, Kitty, welcome in, honey. Nice to see you both, Kitty and Krista. So so this is new what you're about to hear next, but these are the picture. She was in pictures from prior cruises with these grandparents on her father's side, and that's them speaking up now.
They're considering whether it was caused by a so-called bar hold, an arm across the neck.
You take the elbow like this. They said when they took her body to the medical examiner's office, it was in perfect condition.
Kepner telling ABC News they were told their granddaughter's body showed no signs of sexual assault or drugs or alcohol in her system. In an unrelated custody dispute, Anna's stepmother calling Anna's stepbrother, who is a minor, a suspect in Anna's death.
Do you think he had anything to do with Anna's death?
I mean, he was in a room with her. He was the only one seen coming and going. So I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room. But the summation would be that he did something.
And has he said anything to you about what happened?
I heard him, in his own words, say he does not remember what happened.
Anna's grandmother says she sat in on a portion of the stepbrother's interview with the FBI.
He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak. He couldn't believe what had happened.
Anna's grandparents say she and her stepbrother were close.
They were just like brother and sister.
What else could you tell me about him?
That he was a good student.
They were like brother and
Soccer.
He
sister.
played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those.
Anna's stepbrother has not been arrested or charged with the crime. Attorneys for both the stepbrothers' parents did not respond to ABC's request for comment. The FBI and medical examiner's office also declined to comment. Anna's family focused now on honoring their granddaughter, a high school senior and straight-A student who planned to join the military.
She had purpose. She wanted to do things. And this little tiny 110-pound girl, she was mighty, very mighty.
We were
She-
looking
she
forward
had
to
a
seeing our
job.
girl.
What do you hope for now in this moment for your family?
I hope that we can heal. Whatever happened in that room, the only person responsible is the person that was in the room with Anna.
What does justice look like for your family?
Whatever the law says, I'm not going to advocate for anything more or anything less. And that will be for the courts to decide.
Wow. So what's contradictory here is I have another video if we want to listen to it. Yes, that's the case. We're going to show Gus Lamont. They're doing other searches. I didn't think he'd been found. So I'll read that to you in a minute here. And I have another video on this Anna's case because it's just, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's long and we have a massive update on us, like a long stream today. But I just thought it was super interesting that that grandma on dad's side was told or led to believe that Anna and this stepbrother were like brother and sister and got along well. And that's not what the ex-boyfriend has said. So I don't know. What do you think? Is that interesting for you? Like, did the parents completely let her know? Like, where did they hear that from? I mean, I'd like to know where they got that information from. Did they hear it from Anna herself or from the parents? But let's listen to this, a few minutes of this.
Breaking news. The case of Anna Kepner is now reportedly a homicide. The teen varsity cheerleader was reportedly choked to death aboard a Carnival cruise ship. We have also learned what Anna Kepner's stepbrother, whose family says is a suspect in her death, told family members when the 18-year-old girl was allegedly found stuffed under a bed on board the ship. Now that her family is saying this is a criminal case, we've also noticed that some family members' stories are clashing. Were Anna and her stepbrother inseparable?
So Anna, or Veronica rather, I sent you an email. I wasn't able to find your username. So I'm going to try to remember this now because I have to click to add you as a mod, honey. I have to not have your email name, have Veronica B True 68. That link when you go to your profile. That's what I need.
Or was he dangerously obsessed with her? We're on the case.
Hello, Michelle, honey. How are you?
I'm Chris Stewart.
We got a long update for everybody today on all the
Hey guys,
cases.
before we start this case, let's talk about the app Upside. It is free and it gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas and groceries. It is easy to use as well. I like to use it when I pump gas. I also get money back at convenience stores like 7-Eleven or a fast food place like Taco Bell. And we are talking about real cash back. So after you spend, money appears in your Upside account.
Tired
and then you
of
can transfer
these.
it straight to your bank. It's as easy as that.
Let's
So here's
jump
what you
ahead.
on your first tank of gas. A big update just came in. The family of Anna Kepner is reportedly saying that her death has officially been ruled a homicide. Kepner's family has reportedly provided a death certificate to ABC News, and that certificate says that Kepner died by mechanical asphyxia. And again, it officially labels her death as a homicide. Kepner allegedly died of a bar hold, according to the report, an arm across her neck. The report also says there were no signs of sexual assault or drugs in her system, but there were reportedly bruises on the side of her neck. There's also new information that we have in related to the timeline of when
I don't know why you guys keep saying you're seeing ads. That's the whole point of being on a live. That's a YouTube thing. You are not supposed to see ads on a live. So if you're seeing ads on a live, you should message YouTube. I have no control over that because that's the entire advantage of seeing a live versus the replay is you're not supposed to get ads. So I don't know what to say about that. My apologies, but that's a YouTube thing, not a me thing.
Kepner may have died. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. Now, the FBI has not commented on the case. They are saying they are just investigating. They have been tight-lipped about everything else. They haven't arrested anybody, or at least that we know of, and publicly they haven't named anyone as a suspect. But we do know that Anna's stepmom, who was on the cruise with her, called her son, who is Anna's stepbrother, he's 16, a suspect in the death investigation.
The older child, who's approximately 16 years of age,
It's very
is a
sad.
suspect in the death of the stepchild, an 18-year-old daughter that was in the same room.
Now, that was a major moment in this story because it came out of a custody hearing in Florida involving Kepner's stepmom. Her name is Chantel Hudson, and her ex-husband. Again, they've been going through custody issues for more than a year, and their custody issues are unrelated to.
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. Sorry to break this, but we're not going to listen to this whole thing. I just want you to hear a little bit of it because we heard some of it before. But I did a video, a reading on the barn again, the Black Barn for Jack and Lily, and that's going to be premiering at 3 p.m. OMG. That's all I have to say. Yeah, OMG. So it's wild.
To the death investigation. But what you just heard there was the attorney for the stepmom's ex-husband saying that the 16-year-old is a, quote, suspect in Kepner's case. Now, back to the grandparents of Anna Kepner, who were on this cruise, and their interview with ABC News. They said for the first time in the interview what the 16-year-old stepson reportedly told them after Anna's body was found. Now, I'll get to that piece of information in a moment, but we're also learning more about what happened in the final days of Anna's life. So let's go to November 6th. And this was on a 6-day cruise from Miami to some spots in the Caribbean on the Carnival cruise ship Horizon. So this trip is coming to an end. It's one of the last nights before the ship was going to return to port to Miami. And Kepner, reportedly around dinner time, wasn't feeling well. Her grandparents say in their interview with ABC that she had braces. The braces were bothering her. So she was going to call it an early night. Then we get to November 7th. The next day, Kepner's family, they got together for breakfast, and Anna Kepner didn't show up. Her grandfather said that he was getting bingo cards when he heard over the loudspeaker that there was a medical emergency. And you think of the moment for him, he recognized the room number that they were talking about. It was around 11 o'clock in the morning that the Daily Mail has said that it was a maid who entered Anna's stateroom and made the horrifying discovery. Kepner's body was allegedly found wrapped in a blanket, covered over with life jackets, and stuffed under a bed. ABC News says that she had been strangled. An arm allegedly across her neck had killed her. And there was reportedly no evidence of sexual assaults or drugs or alcohol.
I don't know if those grandparents were on the cruise because I don't know where and how they would have heard of the cruise cabin number. Like, they must have been on scene. Maybe when the ship landed, they were ready because the parents had arrived rather, docked. I have no idea, but yeah.
In her system at the time of her death. The ship returned to port on November 8th, the day after her body was found. Her body was then taken off of the ship and transported to the medical examiner's office in Miami-Dade County. This is video per WSVN TV by reporter Sheldon Fox. In the new ABC News report, the death certificate allegedly says that Kepner died on November 6th at an unknown time. So that means authorities believe that Kepner was allegedly killed the night before her body was found, and it must have been after the time that her family said that she wasn't feeling well and needed to be excused from dinner. Kepner's grandparents said that there were a total of 9 family members on this cruise. You had Anna, her grandma, her grandpa, her biological dad, and Anna's 2 biological siblings. Then you had Chantel Hudson, who's the stepmom, and her 2 children.
Yeah, Krista, they just said that they were there.
Son, who is now reportedly the suspect.
It just wasn't reported at first.
Anna's grandparents said that the family going on this trip, it was supposed to be this new tradition as this blended family had come together. And they also said that Anna had a real brother-sister-like relationship with her stepbrother, the 16-year-old. In fact, the grandparents described them as 2 peas in a pod. Now that description,
most channels, as soon as you're monetized, you have ads on your channel. It's an automatic thing once you have your 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So, but from what I understand, lives, maybe YouTube's changed their policy because you didn't need to have YouTube Premium to watch lives without ads. So I'm not going to talk about this anymore because it's distracting. So let's just focus on the case.
Tell you is very different from what a former boyfriend of Anna has been saying. Now, the dad of that ex-boyfriend told Inside Edition that the stepbrother was actually, quote, obsessed with Anna, and allegedly not in a good way. He goes on to say, quote, she was scared of him because he always carried around a big knife. He also said that his son once saw the stepbrother go into Kepner's room during a FaceTime call and, quote, when she was sleeping and get on top of her. And he went on to say, quote, he's like infatuated, attracted to her like crazy. He always wanted to date her. All of this is per Inside Edition. Now, the ex-boyfriend also told the media outlet that Anna was so afraid of her stepbrother that she actually slept at friends' houses just to get away. On this cruise, Anna was reportedly sharing a room with that stepbrother. Now, not only that, the ex-boyfriend also says that Anna's biological brother tried to get into the stateroom, but the door was locked. Anna and the stepbrother were inside. And according to Inside Edition, he said that he could hear yelling, including the stepbrother saying something along the lines of shut the hell up. And he also says that he could hear something banging around the room. Now, the grandparents told ABC News that investigators say the only person seen going in and out of the stateroom where Anna was found dead was that 16-year-old stepbrother. But this is where this case gets even even more bizarre because Anna's grandparents say everyone was questioned after the girl's body was found. And the stepson reportedly said he doesn't remember details about the alleged incident. According to ABC, the 16-year-old said, quote, in his own words, says he does not remember what happened. Now, that is what Anna's grandma told the media outlet that the boy told her. She also says the boy was hospitalized for a psychiatric evaluation once the ship returned to port in Miami. Now, we know that the boy is getting some form of mental health treatment.
December 1st at 9 a.m.
Can I speak? He has a psychiatrist appointment on December 1st.
Ma'am, just a second. Hold on. I want you to be able to talk with your attorney before you speak. If she says it's okay for you to speak, I'm okay with that. But I think you need to run that by her first.
That there was another key moment from this custody hearing where Chantel Hudson, the stepmom, speaks up in court when it comes to scheduling another hearing in relation to the custody case, where she says the boy has a psychiatrist appointment on that particular day. At the time of this recording, it is unclear if anyone has been charged in connection to Kepner's death. Now, another layer to this story that's come to light is the relationship, or lack thereof, that Anna Kepner had with her biological mom. Heather Wright is Anna's biological mom, and she does not live in the state of Florida. She says she has no relationship with Kepner's biological dad, who is the one who was on the cruise. She said that she had to learn about her daughter's death from media reports online. And she also said that Kepner's dad actually tried to ban her from Anna's memorial service. And this is where it gets just very bizarre, kind of tragic. The biological mom says she attended that memorial service in Titusville, Florida last week wearing a disguise. This is what she told Ashley Banfield on News Nation.
That your ex-husband banned you from going. Can you walk me through what happened and what the circumstances were?
He told me that when I told him I was coming down there, he said that that he knew for a fact that Anna would not want me there. And I said, that's a lie. I was like, but whatever. And he goes, if you set foot in Florida, I will have you arrested immediately for back child support.
Okay, so dad, you know, not super impressive right now with dad threatening her bio mom that he's going to have her arrested if she shows up to her funeral. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess these situations bring the worst out in people, but dad is just doesn't seem like dad and stepmom, the ones that took these kids on the cruise, just seem to be, I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what word to use. I want to be kind, but irresponsible, just lacking empathy and just intelligence, emotional intelligence. I mean, your daughter just died. She was murdered. And you're going to threaten her biological mother who can't go to the funeral? Like, that's just, yeah. And that's bullshit. Yeah, it's just, now whether the bio mom's lying about the dad, I don't know. But it seems to me that the dad and the stepmom on the cruise are the ones that are needing to be looked at a little bit more. So we're going to end there on Anna Kepner. It's truly, really sad. We'll keep you updated if anything else happens. But I know that's not the main reason you're here today, so I don't want to go into that email for too long. Gus Lamont, this is what's going on in poor little Gus's life. It's just, so they have entered in, this was an update yesterday at 12:38 p.m. Australian time. Police update Gus Lamont search on November 25th. So today, they're starting again. Police will tomorrow, November 25th, 2025, return to Oak Park Station to continue the search for 4-year-old Gus Lamont, who was last seen on September 27th, 2025. The search, which is expected to last up to 3 days, will involve Star Group officers and Task Force Horizon officers using specialized equipment to search 6 mine shafts in the area. The uncovered and unfenced shafts, uncovered and unfenced shafts, like, are located between 5.5 kilometers and 12 kilometers from Oak Park Homestead in areas not searched on foot by police. Police were not previously aware of these sites. So basically, oops, what's going on there? So basically, the police weren't aware that these shafts existed. And y'all, I saw somewhere they're like 5 kilometers deep. I mean, could you imagine falling into a 5 kilometer deep shaft? But they're much farther out. Hey, Hope, nice to see you, honey. No, Hope. Oh, sweetie. I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry, Hope. I was just about to email you because I was wondering what was going on. Let's see if you were okay. Okay, we're gonna get some prayers out to you for a speedy job recovery situation. So yeah, so from what I understand, they're extending the search out because they didn't know these shafts existed. So that maybe, we heard criticism that perhaps the biggest mistake they made was they didn't go far enough out in the search because the family waited 3 hours to report it. Don't forget. And that they weren't previously aware. But the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Linda Williams, said the new searchers were part of ongoing investigations as part of the Task Force Horizon. We're determined to explore every avenue in the effort to locate Gus Lamont and provide some closure for his family, she said. These searches will either locate evidence or eliminate these locations from further investigation by the task force. This phase of the investigation is being conducted to ensure all locations of possible interest in a wide radius of the homestead are scrutinized to try and locate Gus Lamont. On October 31st, 2025, police drained a large dam on the property and eliminated the possibility that Gus may have drowned. This followed extensive ground and air searches of the area surrounding the Oak Park Station homestead since Gus Lamont disappeared. On October 17th, 2025, police concluded a 4-day ground search, Oak Park Station, for Gus Lamont. It followed the initial 10-day search with both involving SA police, ADF members, SES volunteers, trackers, and local property owners. The ground searching at Oak Park Station has now extended to the 5.5 kilometers from the homestead. So now they're extending it out, as we just said. This equates to This equates to a 95 square kilometer search on foot. The original search area extended well beyond this with the use of mounted operations unit and Polair. This area has been estimated at 470 square kilometers. Wow. So they have already really gone far out, but they didn't check the shafts because they didn't know they existed. So starting today for the next 3 days, it says, or someone said in the chat, will be the search. And I think I read that in one of the other articles. So the police have been hopeful the extensive ground searches would locate Gus or provide evidence of the direction in which Gus may have walked, but this has not been the case. The Task Force Horizon is conducting multiple lines of inquiry to locate Gus Lamont. These investigations have not uncovered any evidence of foul play. So we're talking today about statements that police make in Jack and Lilly and Sebastian a little bit. Police statements that say no evidence of foul play, but maybe not what they believe in the background. That's going to be a little bit shocking when we get to Jack and Lilly here in a second. The family of Gus Lamont have continued to fully operate with police and are being supported by a victim contact officer. It's so bizarre to me. Hey, Julie B. It's so bizarre to me. Right. Gotta be hope. There's gotta be hope. I will be. We are warriors, right? Yes, we are, Hope. We are warriors, honey. It's just wild to me that the narrative is still that he walked away, Just wild. Okay, let's get into Melody Buzzard. Wild. Again, my original intent was just Jack and Lilly, and then all these updates came in. And Melody Buzzard, we're gonna listen a little longer because it's getting crazier. No, it's not getting simpler. It's getting crazier. We have Ashley Banfield here. Takes, the guy Tyler that set her up. And I'm sorry if you're new to these cases, because we're doing such a long stream today, I'm letting the videos introduce you to the case, because I'm trying to get through this until we get to Jack and Lilly and Sebastian, because I know that's what y'all want to hear. And we got a lot to talk about. Not that that's all you want to hear, but mainly what you're here for. So News Nation, listen to this. This is absolutely wild. I really love Ashley Banfield. I really do. And there's 2 clips here we're going to listen to, but listen to this.
It's actually, the whole events with Ashley is one giant blur of craziness. I don't know of any other way to explain it. In short, she ended up going on a road trip at the instructions of individuals that she barely even knows, and I question if she even knows them really at all, and efforts to drop Melody off with them, apparently some location in Utah. She had said that it was a couple that she met at a zoo. This couple had a daughter that's Melody's age, that she wanted Melody to be able to.
So she claims she left her daughter with a couple that she met at the zoo. True? Foul play? Not true? Not sure. But I did compare this to the reading I did with Melody Buzzard, and some of it seems to be what the cards had to say too. Not the zoo, but leaving her with a couple or somebody. Listen on.
With, but she doesn't know these people's names, their address, their phone number, their location.
Yeah, it's all these cases.
It's bizarre. It makes no sense.
It particularly makes no sense that Ashley Buzzard would say, I don't know this couple that I met at the zoo. I don't know their names. I don't know their address. I don't know their contact information, when apparently she was making contact with them. And can you describe what she said about the contact she made with them and how the plan kept changing about the drop-off of Melody?
You know, she wouldn't go into too much details because she's very paranoid that the house is bugged, and she still wasn't really trusting me that much, as we discovered on that Thursday that she decided to confront me, or whatever you would want to call it. She didn't make it clear of how she communicated, especially when she was saying she didn't have accurate phone numbers for them. She also didn't make it clear. She said that she knew the woman's name of the couple, and that she looked on white pages and verified that there was someone by that name listed on the white pages. Okay, well, if someone's called John Doe, you know, there's probably 20 John Does throughout the nation.
Excuse me. Hang on a second. Do white pages even exist? Is that not phone books that they're talking about, white pages? I'm confused here about the white pages.
So it's the fact that she trusted and believed some stranger that she randomly met at a zoo to care for her daughter, and trusted what she said was true without checking ID, without checking where she lives, without going to the house, without verifying where Melody was going to be sleeping. It's just mind-boggling.
Well, to say the least, without getting a contact phone number to call her back. And again, I'm still perplexed by the details, Mr. Brewer, about, and I think, you correct me if I'm wrong here, that Ashley Buzzard said to you that this woman kept changing the drop-off details, kept changing the plan. Is that true?
Exactly, and that's why she ended up in Nebraska and all these different places, because they kept changing.
Now, I don't know if I believe that. Do y'all believe that? Nobody gives their kids to strangers. Come on. I know, Krista. I know. But I mean, don't forget, we've already established this woman is not well, but I'm with you. I think this is just a narrative of baloney. Yeah, you don't believe it either? No, I don't believe it either. I don't believe that she was directed to go to different places constantly. I don't know. I got trafficking of some sort here, and I really think that something maybe went wrong on the road with whatever or whoever she was leaving Melody with. But let's keep listening.
Like, oh, no, meet us here. Then meet us maybe Utah, wherever she ended up last with Melody was the final drop off. So they kept changing it because apparently this couple, this individual, this whoever was paranoid of the government and being followed and spied on. So they wanted to make sure that if Ashley was being tracked, then it would be harder for them to be tracked, changing all these different locations. And I know how weird and bizarre this sounds.
Hey,
but this is just
YouTubers,
information that I was provided, and whether it's true or not, this is what she relayed to me.
I mean, that's a whole other question, whether what she told you is true. It sounds so manic. And also, how is she communicating with a woman multiple times to change drop-off locations if she suddenly says, I have no means of communicating?
Well, this is it. How you dropped off your child with these strangers, so you don't know their name and their number, but somehow you were communicating with them on these changing locations. I mean, she is incredibly unwell. I think we've all established that. And so whether she truly believes this and had some sort of psychotic break, and this is her memory, or whether it's a lie, I mean, who knows? Because she's super unwell.
Communicating with said woman.
And she said that she originally had a phone number for them, and she no longer has it because
well,
they
wait,
ended up
listen.
either disconnecting or it was a text now number or something similar.
This is almost over, this video. I got a longer one that's even more disturbing. Listen, it's wild.
And she was told that when she got home, Melody would start calling her. And it's been, 45, 50 days and still no phone call as of November 6th.
And that was the plan, to be clear that this couple, again, that Ashley Buzzard told you she met them at a zoo and made this plan to drop her 9-year-old daughter off with them, and that they'd have a daily contact with Melody. Did she say why? What was the whole purpose of getting rid of her daughter to this mystery couple in the first place?
Without going into too much detail with her medical history, she had an outpatient, so she has a surgery coming up. And the surgery, I can tell you what it is. It's an outpatient surgery that you're going to be out for the day. It's nothing. But in her mind, it's something that Melody needs to be away from her for at least a month or two, an effort for Ashley to do the surgeries, the medical care, and get back on her feet so she could take care of Melody.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
I mean, listen, this, it's so hard to say what is going on for real, because I really think this woman is incredibly unwell. Okay, we have a longer interview now. Same News Nation, Ashley Banfield with this same guy. This is the Tyler Brewer, who was the one that went in. You'll hear a little bit more about it now. Not that he was asked by police to go in undercover, but he was asked by police to tell him what he saw. And wait till you hear part of this. It is Ashley travels so far for a reason. Somebody knows. Oh, exactly. You know, but what do you think? What do you think? I picked up right away in the 2 readings. I've only done 2 readings, but I picked up right away on the first reading, trafficking of some sort. And I said, with all these wigs and the makeup, I'm wondering if she was prostituting her out, or herself out, Ashley, or drugs, because these wigs and these, you know, that on Criminally Obsessed, that podcast, which I love, we saw the PI saying that he's discovered that she made these routes often. This was not the first time she had done these traveling routes all the way out to the west, to the East Coast from California with a rental car. Same as Zadie, Sandy the nanny. Yeah, so it's wild. But listen, it gets even, some of it's a little bit redundant, but there's some of things in here that are like, whoa.
It's actually, you know, the whole events with Ashley is one giant blur of craziness. I don't know of any other way to explain it.
Good morning, Bobby.
In short, you know, she ended up going on a road trip at the instructions of individuals that she barely even knows. And I question if she even knows.
I don't know. I'm not sure of that.
Melody off with them.
I think she's super unwell. I'm not sure.
Location in Utah. She had said that it was a couple that she met at a zoo. This couple had a daughter that's Melody's age that she wanted Melody to be able to play with. But she doesn't know these people's names, their address, their phone number, their location, nothing. It's bizarre. It makes no sense.
It particularly makes no sense that Ashley Buzzard would say, I don't
know
Bobby. This couple that I met at the zoo. I don't know their names. I don't know their address. I don't know their contact information, when apparently she was making contact with them. And can you describe what she said about the contact she made with them and how the plan kept changing about the drop-off of Melody?
You know, she wouldn't go into too much details because she was very paranoid that the house is bugged, and she still wasn't really trusting me that much, as we discovered on that.
You know, my dad's brother, bless his soul, committed suicide. He was a lawyer like my dad, and just lost it one day when he came home and his wife was in bed at lunch with another man, which apparently, if you have predisposition towards schizophrenia, something can trigger like that. And he was schizophrenic, my uncle. For 10 years, he was homeless and we didn't know where he was. By the time we found him 10 years later on the streets of Toronto, he had no teeth. He went from being a lawyer to homeless. And then he ended up committing suicide, regrettably. But he was schizophrenic. After we found him, my mom and dad put him in a place, paid for it, and, you know, entered in once to visit him because he was cutting hydro lines down. Literally thought the government was spying on him, cutting hydro poles down, and he attacked my parents when they walked in the door and tried to kill my dad. Schizophrenic. So I'm just wondering, it's okay, Krista, it's okay. He visits me now. It's so weird because totally off topic, well, a little, yeah. Yesterday I was talking to you about how I worked that case with Laura Traplin with the missing boy. And I kept saying to Laura at the time, my grandfather and my uncle kept coming to me. And I was estranged from my dad at the time. And they kept coming in spirit, like wanting me to help my dad. And I was like, leave me alone. Like I didn't get what was going on at first. But anyway, He's in spirit. He visits me often now. He's coming in with my dad, so it's all good. But yeah, I'm starting to wonder if she's schizophrenic.
Say that she decided to confront me or whatever you would want to call it.
Complete psychosis.
She didn't make it clear of how she communicated, especially when she was saying she didn't have.
Hello, my
phone numbers
baby's
for them.
army.
She also didn't make it clear. She said that she
Yes.
knew the woman's name of the couple and that she looked on White Pages and verified that there was someone by that name
Oh,
listed on the
lived
White Pages.
on
Okay,
White
well,
Pages Street.
If someone's
Sorry.
called John Doe, there's probably 20 John Does throughout the nation. So it's
Is
the
that a
fact that she
street, White
trusted and believed
Pages?
some stranger that she randomly met at a zoo to care for her
Hey,
daughter
kitty.
and
Nice
trusted
to
what
see
she
you,
said was true
honey.
without checking ID, without checking where she lives, without going to the house, without verifying where Melody was going to be sleeping. It's just mind-boggling for me. And
well, to say the least, without getting a contact phone number to call her back. And again, I'm still perplexed by the details, Mr. Brewer, about, and I think, you correct me if I'm wrong here, that Ashley Buzzard said to you that this woman kept changing the drop-off details, kept changing the plan. Is that true?
Exactly, and that's why she ended up in Nebraska and all these different places, because they kept changing. Was like, oh no, meet us here, no, meet us here, then meet us maybe Utah, wherever she ended up last with Melody was the final drop off. So they kept changing it because apparently this couple, this individual, this whoever was paranoid of the government and being followed and spied on. So they wanted to make sure that if Ashley was being tracked, then it would be harder for them to be tracked.
Okay. How much of this story do y'all believe? Welcome in, Kitty. Nice to see you, sweetie. Thanks, everybody, who's here. If she is schizophrenic, yeah, when he comes in, I can absolutely ask. But that's just what I'm picking up right now. It's just wild. Like, I just think there's some level of psychosis here. White Pages. Well, this is it. There's no such thing as White Pages. And don't forget, she herself was removed from their abusive father's home by her mother and ran at the same age of 9. So from my understanding of schizophrenia, through my uncle, it's like cancer. You can have a predisposition towards it. And if all of the elements show up at the same time, then it can trigger the onset, which I had no idea. There's too many children being hurt by the hands of people who are supposed to be protecting them these days. It's getting worse. Bobby, I can completely agree with you. It's just, it's sad. And that's why we're here bringing awareness to this, because, hopefully the power in numbers about, maybe this attention to true crime will somehow get to legislation, is my hope, because we have to figure out what the dang is going on with all these kids. So the trafficking rings and everything else is just wild, I know, but this is it, Krista. That's what I was wondering. Like, is she living in some time warp? Because she's talking about White Pages that haven't been around for 15, 20 years. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because she lost her first child, don't forget. So, and the biological father, the grandmother for poor Melody, has said that she was been hospitalized for mental unwellness many years ago, and she did lose her older daughter, from what we understand. So I think she's incredibly unwell, which is scary, because what state was she in when she drove? Does she even remember the truth of it? Is she deliberately lying, or is this her psychosis and her belief that this really happened? Is it a lie, or does she really believe this happened, is the question.
Changing all these different locations. And I know how weird and bizarre this sounds, but this is just the information that I was provided. And whether it's true or not, this is what she relayed to me.
I mean, that's a whole other question, whether what she told you is true. It sounds so manic. And also, how is she communicating with a woman multiple times to change drop-off locations?
Oh, thank you, Veronica. I didn't know. Okay, thank you, honey.
Said woman.
Okay,
and
thank
she said that she originally had a phone number for them, and she no longer has it because they ended up either disconnecting it, or it was a text now number or something similar. And she was told that when she got home, Melody would start calling her. And it's been 45, 50 days and still no phone call as of November 6th.
I don't agree. I think, knowing Ashley Banfield, I guarantee you Ashley Banfield approached him. And I think because of what you're going to hear soon, the police did ask him to come to them and give them what he can tell them about what he's gleaned from Ashley. I think he was under a gag order until that case was dismissed. I don't agree. I think he was trying to help and the police asked him to
That
help.
was the plan, to be clear that this couple, again, that Ashley Buzzard told you she met them at a zoo and made this plan to drop her 9-year-old daughter off with them, and that they'd have a daily contact with Melody. Did she say why? What was the whole purpose of getting rid of her daughter to this mystery couple in the first place?
Without going through too much detail with her medical history, she had an outpatient, so she has a surgery coming up. And the surgery, after she told me what it is, it's an outpatient surgery that you're going to be out for the day. It's nothing. But in her mind, it's something that Melody needs to be away from her for at least a month or two, an effort for Ashley to do the surgeries, the medical care.
I guess I should have just played this one. I didn't realize this was the first 5 minutes of the
the medical procedure in which she's claiming that she needs to have done. It's an outpatient surgery that, you know, I've had done myself. So it's not something that she needs to be out for a month for.
And she admitted to you that she was changing her license plates all along the route to this drop-off of her daughter with this couple.
You know, the thing about that is I had brought up something about the license plate because I had seen the report. And my license plates, I was trying not to let it in public, but they decided to announce in the middle of court that my license plates is from Oklahoma. So
well, okay, let's talk about this for a second. What kind of person would agree to have a stranger leave their daughter with them? I mean, that whole thing doesn't add up, you know, how she met these people and who they are. I think it's really more related to some type of trafficking. That's just my opinion.
Between California and Oklahoma.
But yeah,
so said,
who takes a child?
To have 2 plates,
who takes a child from a stranger? I mean,
so she went on to tell me,
and then keeps her hit.
I want you to order fake plates that look real, so I can switch them out without being noticed.
So she informed you how to switch plates, but did she also confirm that she had switched her plates on that trip?
Yeah, she even mentioned that she has done it in the past. She didn't specify it was for that trip. That she had said her friend had told her about it when she was applying, referring to the friend that has Melody.
Okay, so there's another report, and I'm hoping you can corroborate this. There was a report from a private investigator who said that Ashley Buzzard had been cutting the faces of Melody out of the missing persons posters, and you have been inside her home. What did you witness
to this?
In her
Watch this.
So she didn't cut the faces out. So I mean, that was either a miscommunication. So she took the photos out of the missing.
Okay, so it was a miscommunication where we reported that she cut the faces out. That's not what she did. But listen up, but there's more. It's very scary and eerie, really.
Photo of the poster boards that people made, and she has them lined on her couch. They're all on her couch, and then she has a body pillow with Melody's hoodie and pants on it, like dressed like Melody. And that's what's on her couch. So she basically has like a little shrine to Melody on her couch.
And the photos, you're saying she lifted the photos off of the missing persons poster so that she could arrange those things on her sofa?
Yeah, what you're showing now, that's what she did. She ripped those down and they're all on her sofa.
But she didn't cut them as if to deface them.
That's true.
She wanted the pictures off of those boards.
Correct.
That is totally true. You're right, Hope. She may be getting Social Security from her husband's death. Maybe he had this lady is crazy, totally. Yes. And she may have also, maybe he had life insurance, or there was insurance where the mortgage was paid. But even with Social Security checks, that's not a lot of money. I don't think you could live off those realistically in this economy. I could be wrong. At least in Canada, you couldn't.
Yes.
I'm just gonna.
And they're lined up on her sofa?
Lined up on her sofa, yes.
Yeah.
And again, next to a body pillow that is dressed in Melody's clothing?
Yes, it's one of those pillows that you put behind your back. So it's not the long body pillows, but it's one that goes behind your back, and it has Melody's orange hoodie on it. And at one point in time, it had like a pair of pants on it. It was very strange. And I asked her like why she has the hoodie on the pillow, and she said it's because she misses Melody.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that.
And
I remember on the. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I spoke to other people too, and they had told me that sounds like a shrine or memorial that people do. And when I was sitting there, you know, that didn't cross my mind. I didn't even think that initially, but now looking back on it, it's extremely creepy and concerning. And I apologize for interrupting. There's a lag.
I mean, to say the least, it is extremely disconcerting that she's dressed a pillow up as her daughter while her daughter's missing, and she refuses to say anything to authorities. Speaking of the authorities, this is a key aspect because the audio tape that was released in court was a little confusing to most people who listened to it because she was getting angry at you for what she said was being deceitful. And I wondered if it's because
I'm dying of heat, so I gotta open the door, so bear with me.
What contact you had with the police
I'm going
and why
to
you had contact with the police.
do that.
When I first went over there, I reached out to her because I've known her years ago. So when I first went over there, it was because I thought she had a family law issue that was about to happen. So I thought, because she has another daughter that was taken away from her, and Melody has been taken away from her in the past. So I thought it was going to be a family law issue where she might need help with some document preparation or something. So that's what I thought when I originally went over there. She had me come over on the second day. And after I left, I was pulled over by a detective. And he basically, told me that I need to report back anything that I learned about Melody to the authorities. So I was compelled to do so. I work in the field. So if I get, either a direct or indirect order from a law enforcement agent or a judge or someone, I'm going to comply. So I did. She started getting paranoid about everything that she was telling me. And then she built up in her head, I'm in my office right now. She built up in her head that I'm not a paralegal, that I'm not a legal document assistant, that I'm not a process server, that I don't have an office. So she was basically saying that I was lying, that she can't trust me, that I'm going to go to jail for fraud because I'm pretending to have an office, and that basically I was working as an undercover police officer. So that's what you were hearing in that illegal recording, by the way. I didn't authorize to be recorded, nor did I know I was being recorded. But that's partially what you were hearing, is basically her just having a paranoia meltdown.
But it's interesting for us to learn that the police pulled you over to say, we need your help, because this woman won't talk to anyone, but she talked to you. I wanted to just recap really quickly. You mentioned that she's got an older daughter who's 22 years old who was taken away from her?
Yeah, roughly 22, give or take. Early 20s, I do believe. Her name is Destiny. And if you're watching Destiny, sorry for saying your name. So I knew her when she was little as well. And she was taken away when she was little because, Ashley's had mental health struggles since I've known her. So that contributed to Destiny being taken. And I'm not sure what happened with Melody the first time around, but, she was, that is what it is. And that's what I thought was happening this time. I didn't think when I first made contact that Melody was actually...
Sorry for interrupting. Has Destiny been helpful at all in trying to talk to her mother, or will her mother speak to her daughter, Destiny?
I have no idea if Destiny has tried to reach out. If she hasn't, I can't blame her. But Ashley herself has said that she would rather Melody be in a group home or foster home than to be anywhere near either side of her family.
Wow. Okay, a couple of other big questions. She was asking on the audio tape for her keys. She wanted you to quote.
She would rather Melody be in a group home than with anybody else in her family. That sounds like she's either doesn't like her family, not close to her family, they're not good people, or is it a control issue? Doesn't say schizophrenia, I don't know what does. If that doesn't say schizophrenia, I don't know what does. Yeah, I don't know. This schizophrenia can be dangerous. Schizophrenic, if she's schizophrenic, they can have dangerous outbursts.
A few days prior, she actually had me go make copies of her house keys and her storage keys, which those are the two places that were raided. She wanted me to bring them back to her that night because she thought I kept the originals versus the copies.
Yeah, Bobby probably, yeah.
For Melody's disappearance. So she wanted me to have copies of her keys. So once she's arrested, I can come empty out her storage on her house so she doesn't lose all of her belongings.
Okay, speaking of belongings, we've been watching multiple occasions where she's she's receiving flat boxes, then she's carrying what looked to be packed boxes out to a waiting vehicle, and then eventually, in another video, out to a U-Haul truck. Appliances, moving boxes. Do you have any idea what's in those boxes, Tyler?
Yeah, it's all of Melody's stuff. All those boxes were ordered from Walmart. I was there when she was ordering them. She's claiming it's stuff that Melody outgrew, which makes no sense because she was asking me if my nieces could benefit from the clothing, and my nieces are Melody's age. So for her to say that Melody has outgrew them,
that's not
but she wants to give them to my nieces, makes no sense.
There's something else that she's been receiving a lot of packages at that door. Do you have any idea, other than the Walmart boxes, what she's been receiving?
She gets various things. She gets all of her food mailed to her. She gets all of her toiletries mailed to her. Her wigs are mailed to her. Her clothes. She's told me she has a shopping addiction, which I'm not sure where she gets all the money from. And that's something else. Is the last time I was there, I want to say on that Tuesday, she was deleting.
So he's known her. Don't forget, I've just put another piece together. So Hope, you're right. It could be depending on what the dad had for income. But don't forget, this Tyler guy's known her for 10 years. So would he not know if she, because he's known her since before Melody was born. So he would have known her at the time Melody's dad died in his motorcycle accident. So you think if she was receiving benefits from that maybe he would know? I don't know, but it's interesting that he's known her for so long, and he says where she gets all the money from, I don't know.
Her Amazon account, her email account, and her bank account, she was switching that stuff because she thought it was being hacked or traced. So
I know, Mary, I know.
And there was something about a reference made to Casey Anthony. Can you explain what comment she made about Casey Anthony?
Yeah, so she said she acknowledged that people were comparing her to Casey Anthony, but she like joked and was like, well, at least I'm not out partying. So you're not out partying, but look what Casey Anthony was accused of. Like, do you not realize what you just said? And like,
did she ever say, Tyler, that I didn't kill Melody? I mean, did you ever ask her point blank, is Melody alive or dead? Did she ever say one way or the other?
So she's comparing herself to Casey Anthony. Well, that's not good. Didn't she unalive her child? I don't know that case super well. Casey Anthony, isn't that the TV? Yeah, that's the TV series. Infamous, involving the untimely death of Casey Anthony's 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee Anthony. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Other?
No, I did ask her, and I flat out told her. I believe it was on either that. So this all happened with her locking me in on that Wednesday, I believe. And I think it was on that Tuesday that I had asked her. I go, you know, everyone is saying, you're still not giving me the full truth. I go, you're not talking to law enforcement. Everyone is saying that you either trafficked Melody or you killed her. I go, which one is it? And she starts doing her fake crying, acting like she can believe that I asked her such a question.
Fake crying. That's not good. Oh my God, that's not good. Oh my God.
But she never.
But she wouldn't answer.
She never answered the question.
The things that she did tell you, Tyler, I was just going to say the things that she did tell you about this couple she met at the zoo with whom she dropped Melody in Utah, doesn't have their phone, doesn't have their email, doesn't have their names, doesn't have contact information, but that it was all planned for a minor surgery, which, as you said, was an outpatient surgery. Do you believe any of it?
I don't believe any of it. I think, like, I don't believe any of it at all. And just to clarify, she kept saying, how do you know I left her in Utah? She didn't say she dropped her off in Utah. So that's very distinguishable. She didn't say I dropped her off with a couple in Utah. She said, how do you know I left her in Utah? So that's distinguishable. But then she like switched the subject as if she never even said that.
Yeah, I did a reading and I checked it this morning, and definitely the mountains came up in the reading. And there's a lot. I'm a Canadian, so I had to Google during that reading to see if there's mountains in Utah, because there are. Sorry, everybody. But being Canadian, I'm not super familiar with all the states, the geography in all the states. But yeah, I don't know if she's near a swamp, but scary stuff.
So
scary
and
stuff.
It's one of those things with her. You don't want to try to like interrogate her and keep going on that subject, because then she'll say like she's upset or that she's getting triggered. She loved that word triggered. So with someone like that, you don't want to upset them or trigger them, especially if you're in their house.
Yeah.
So,
the only person who's
yeah, no kidding.
I mean, she won't speak with the police.
Sorry.
She won't speak with Melody's grandparents on the paternal side. We have no idea if she's spoken with her own mother. Do you know if she's spoken with her own mother?
I know she has not, and she wants nothing to do with her mother at all.
Well, being the only person who Ashley Buzzard has spoken with, particularly about this little girl, Melody.
I mean, her poor mother, who, unlike other mothers, my own, you know, protected her and removed her when she was 9 years old from an abusive household. And she doesn't want anything to do with her mother. That's super interesting to me. It doesn't sound good. It does not sound good. I agree. It does not sound good for this child. Stick around. We're getting into Jack and Lily and Sebastian Rogers after this.
Do you believe that Melody is alive?
That's such a tough question, because I don't want to believe that she could have hurt Melody at all, because I think that she does love Melody in her own way. But the fact that she won't give me a clear yes or no answer makes me extremely uncomfortable. So I can't say one way or another, but I think that she should have been found by now if she was alive.
Tyler, I cannot thank you enough for being so candid, for talking with us tonight, for helping the police to get any information they can about this little girl, and for going through what you've been through. I'm going to repeat it. I don't believe the judge made the right decision about what I heard on that tape. I don't believe anybody says the words, I would like to leave now, twice, if they don't have the freedom to just get up and leave and say goodbye.
It was actually 3 times. Like, I told her twice as she was staring at me. Like, I told your producer, she looked like the Annabelle doll. Just like the way she was looking at me with her and fake crying. She's like laughing while she's crying with an open box cutter next to her.
Oh, like the Anna doll. That's so not cool.
And granted, she never said she was going to cut me with a box cutter, and she made sure to say for her performance that she wasn't threatening me. So, and she never physically did, but it was her demeanor, the way she was compared to how I knew her from the past. You know, she stood in front of me when I was going to go walk past her, and she locked multiple locks. When I asked her for the 3rd time to leave at the door, which you couldn't hear on the audio, you could hear the keys rattling, finally letting me out, but you didn't hear me say, I'm ready to go now, Ashley. for the third time. So under California law, the moment I asked her the first time to leave and she didn't immediately open the door, that's false imprisonment.
I mean, you can ask O.J. Simpson, who spent 9 years in prison because of not allowing two men to leave a hotel room that he was collecting his belongings, robbing them. And that was the kidnapping that led to 9 years in prison. Again, Tyler Brewer, I cannot thank you enough for being candid with us. Let's both pray together, and everyone who's watching.
Wild. This case is wild. Okay, so we're done, Ashley Buzzard. We're moving into Jack and Lilly and Sebastian. What do y'all think the outcome's going to be of this case? You think he already knows? He's not just going to say anything to hurt this lady. It might be no more than he already has. I don't know. You don't think he's being honest? I think he's told the police absolutely everything. That's just my sense. I think he's told the police absolutely everything. She's on or off her meds. They can make her take rug test. Yeah, well, like they don't have any jurisdiction to do anything with her, apparently, including even under this false imprisonment arrest when they had her in custody. We went through it. They have even a limited ability to even get the truth of that out from her. So it's wild. Okay, everybody. What are we doing first? What are we doing first? Are we doing Jack and Lilly or Sebastian Rogers next? It seems like she has schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, but there's a serious psychological, and when you're hearing that she's decorating the pillows with Melody's clothes, rather, I'm curious to see Jack and Lilly. Michelle says, you get a weird feeling from that guy too. Oh, we got Jack and Lilly and Sebastian. So come on, guys. I need everybody. I'm sure Ellie knows she's lying. Yeah, no kidding. You need more votes for that. Jack and Lilly. A few more. Let's go. We got 2-1. Jack and Lilly or Sebastian. Jack and Lilly. Y'all, something interesting. I found Jack and Lilly. Oh, we got 1, 2, 3 Jack and Lillys. 1, 2, 3 Sebastian. Next one is the tiebreaker. There we go. It's Sebastian. Sebastian's. Oh. Okay, we're going to Sebastian first because it's literally a tiebreaker. Oh, Jack. 1, 2, 3. I'm not taking any more. 1, 2, 3. Jack and Lilly. 4 Jack and Lilly. Oh, hang on. Because you guys are on a delay. So we got 1 Jack and Lilly, 1 Sebastian, 2 Jack and Lilly, 2 Sebastian, 3 Sebastian, 3 Jack and Lilly, 4 Sebastian, 4 Jack and Lilly, 5 Jack and Lilly, 4 Sebastian, 6 Jack and Lilly, 4 Sebastian, 5 Sebastian, 7 Jack and Lilly, 8 Jack and Lilly. Okay, we're going Jack and Lilly first. Okay, everybody, let's go Jack and Lilly. This will blow your mind. I was looking for things to cover that we hadn't already covered last night, okay? That we hadn't already covered. And let me just get the timestamp for this. This is just a very quick clip. Oh, we're going to do Sebastian too, Bobby. This is just a very quick clip, but OMG. OMG. Listen to this. Okay, let me just get her. I have not heard anybody else reporting on this. And she shows the receipts. So, but I have not heard anybody else reporting on this. And I happened upon this by mistake last night. And it's very enlightening. It's very, very enlightening. I'll show you what it is right now. We're starting in at 21:19 minutes. I'm going to move it up a little faster because the beginning of it's not important. But yeah, listen up.
FOIA. I know about FOIAs, guys. I know what a Freedom of Information Act is, but in Nova Scotia, they're calling it something else. The people that did the documentation. I'll show.
So I tried to get the court documents and found out that you have to pay for them, and I don't have the money to pay for them. So Craddock supposedly moved into. I heard that. So I'm just very curious where she got this. Jay from this channel here, guilty of a crime. But listen, I like her to listen up.
Show you real quick what I'm talking about. All right, so I have some of the disappearance facts on here, and there's the actual letter. Let me make sure that you guys can see this. So there's the letter that.
So she says she had a hard time finding this. Okay, she had a hard time finding this, and it's unredacted. I've tried and Googled and looked for it. I don't know how she got it. Not through the Freedom of Information Act, she says. I tried to get the court documents, but again, don't have the money when I found out that you have to pay per page, and they're 400 pages long. I don't know how she found this, but this is going to blow your mind.
That I was talking about. And it says here, we've obtained through the FOIPOP, which is in Canada. Now in the United States, they're FOIAs, Freedom of Information Act. So I don't know. I didn't even have time to look up what FOIPOP request is. I'm assuming it's similar, but it's request. The RCMP chief superintendent on June 6th requested that Jack and Lily Sullivan's disappearance be added to the Major Rewards Unsolved Crimes Unit. And then they say they have a reason to believe there are people with knowledge that can lead us to Jack and Lily. So they're looking a bit closer, I believe, at the people that were there, not only that night, but that live on the property. So you can see that they wrote that up in June, and then they sealed it.
So they wrote a report. You can't see it here very clearly. I took a screenshot of it. Where's my camera or my phone? I took a screenshot of it yesterday, y'all. I took a screenshot. So she finds this report. Where's my damn phone? Oh, I don't know where my phone is. There it is. There it is. She found this unredacted report. I'm going to show you my screenshot so you can see closer. This is going to blow you away. Okay, I'm going to remove her so you can see this up close and personal. Whoops. This was signed by the RCMP. This doesn't sound like wandered away. They put this report in on June 6th. And this is the statement. This doesn't sound like the kids wandered away. So, despite, yeah, you heard her read it. Wow, I didn't even know it existed. Holy smokes. So, in behind the scenes, they're saying no evidence to support. But in writing, Major Unsolved Crimes Program. Yeah. Sounds like they know way more than they are saying. So let's listen in for a little longer. But that was the main thing I wanted you to get from this. Well, this is it. Because I don't know how Jay got this document, Bobby. I have no idea how she got it. I have tried through ChatGPT so many times. I have no idea. She only shows it for a few seconds. She's not telling us how she found it other than to say it was hard. Excuse me. Only to say it was hard
why
to
did
get.
they seal that, and why are they leaving out a ton of information for us to just try to guess? And I think that's what causes a lot of this, a lot of the interruptions in the case, a lot of the creators just saying whatever they want and filling in the blanks. That's what happens. That's what happens when you seal documents. I mean, all right, now let's take a look at this. Now we're up to date. All right, we've been here 23 minutes. I hope you guys know what we're talking about now. Everything else is coming from yesterday. All right.
Okay, so that's all she says. That is literally all she says about the whole thing. She's not telling us how she found them. She's not telling us, but she showed us. And I am like completely blown away. Shady Grady story. I don't know. Okay, I understand. Thank you, Michelle. I seriously, I'm so torn right now. And my guidance is to write. I got my tarot deck done, ready to go. But I got scammed. Remember? I sent money and I got scammed. And the guy that did my decks, didn't send them back, changed them like in ways that I didn't ask for. And then so I got scammed out of the $100 I had to get them edited to go to print. So I have true crime tarot decks ready to go. I got so many things on the go and I don't have any money. The other one that I'd love to do is learn to get my PI license online. I can do it in Canada for $150, but I need the money so that I could learn how to deep dive like this, you know? Yeah, it's just wild. You might have to email her to strike a deal. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I really don't think she's going to want to share. But it's just, yeah, it's just friggin' wild. Wild, wild, wild. That's the case. That's really what's going on in the background. We're going to listen to this a little bit as well. This is, I thought, because this also talks about the affidavit. So this was specifically what Jay was showing is an affidavit that the RCMP released that they redacted, that's not available for public consumption. And I thought that this video would talk a little bit more about that, but she doesn't. So to this point, up to this point, the only person that I know that is talking about this is Jay in that 30 seconds clip. So she's keeping it under wraps for whatever reason, Jay. I suspect she's worried that if they find out she has access to it, there's going to be a problem. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But anyway, so let's listen to Kit, who reminds us here, Crime with Kate, sorry, what was found, the documents that the police have released that were found and discovered in the Jack and Lily case. Let's listen.
We haven't done a video like this in quite a while, but I don't think we need to do a little story intro for this one because this is going to be a case update. It has been over 5 months now since 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan vanished from their rural home on Garlock Road in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia, on May 2nd of 2025 this year. Despite massive searches that have happened and extensive media coverage on this case, there seems to be no solid evidence recovered and no answers as to what happened to these 2 children. Since it's been a while since we've addressed this case, there has actually been quite a bit of information.
You're asking me about which live for Jay? I'd have to go back. Hang on, I think it's a few months ago. Let me go back. 1 month ago. 1 month ago. 1 month ago.
Has come out. Information that we haven't spoken about here on this channel before, including the media getting a hold of police affidavits, which is quite unheard of here in Canada, I feel like. I hear it in the States all the time. Affidavits are released, information that the authorities have gathered, but here in Canada, they don't usually release that information. So it's very, very interesting that the media was able to get a hold of these files. Now, obviously, some of this information is like a month old. So of course, this isn't information that was immediately been released that we're talking about here. But I haven't spoken about this information yet. I haven't chatted with you all about it. And I'm very curious to see what you all think about it. So that is why we're sitting here today. I know I still am going to see hundreds of comments of people saying this isn't new information. Guys, it doesn't matter if this information came out today. It's still relevant to talk about and to discuss. Now, for a refresher, I definitely recommend going and watching the multiple videos I've already done.
Yeah, I suspect that if the police find out that Jay has that, they might not be so happy. I don't know how she got it.
Done on this case, but I think it's important to do a little recap here because we haven't spoken about this case in quite a few.
They have been trying to cover that narrative up for so long, right? I mean, they've been trying to say no evidence, walked out the back door, when behind the scenes, that's not what they believe. So I really don't know how she got it. I'm Canadian. You have to remember the RCMP is the American equivalent of the FBI. This is why they are, the FBI is also very tight-lipped, right? They operate differently and even more in isolation and sort of in their own little world, if you will, has mother, father, heart. I know, Marie. I know. Let's listen up some more. It's
Months
wild.
now. I needed a refresher. I think you all might need a refresher if you haven't been following along day to day as well. So I gathered a little recap so that we understand the
Melinda.
minor details as to what is happening here. So
Melinda,
siblings Jack and
for anybody just coming in, you're going to want to rewind it a couple of minutes because we just went through how Jay on, God, there's so many channel names. I'm so sorry. I can never keep them all straight. Jay on, just rewind it. Not Crime Time Buzz. I forget the channel name. I'm sorry. There's so many of them. Pulled out and found that the RCMP actually do not believe that the kids just walked away. An unredacted document that nobody's supposed to have, in my opinion. And she shows it for 30 seconds. I just showed you a screenshot of it on the bottom, and it's concerning.
Lily
It's
with their mother,
concerning for
Malaya
sure.
Brooks Murray, as well as their stepfather, Daniel
Thank you,
Martell,
Hope.
and their 1-year-old
Thank
baby sister,
you,
Meadow,
Michelle.
at a rural property
Thank
on Gairloch Road. This is an extremely rural back road with a few other homes spotting the area. The nearest town being the New Glasgow area, a 20-minute drive from the
I
property,
agree.
or the city of Truro, which is a 45-minute drive. Their father is a man named Cody Sullivan,
Yes,
who
no
alleged to have
kidding,
not seen his
Michelle.
children for 3 years at the time of their disappearance. According to the narrative given on the day of the children's disappearance, their mother and their stepfather.
I mean, I feel bad because I was raking them over the coals. But, I really didn't know that they had more knowledge in the background.
Last seen them somewhere around 8 a.m. to 9:40 a.m. the morning of May 2nd, 2025. Both Malay and Daniel claim that they were in their own bedroom with their 1-year-old daughter, Meadow. They claim that Lily came in and out of the bedroom several times. Again, let me know how you're all been released that we're talking about here. But I haven't spoken about this information yet. I haven't chatted with you all occasions.
Hold on.
And that theory of mine was kind of validated in these documents because they were making these record requests because one of the last known valid sightings of the children, other than, their immediate family, that was just someone who was not even involved, was on May 1st around 2:25 p.m. at their local Dollarama. And this was via video surveillance. For my research, that would most likely be this Dollarama here at 660 Westville Road in New Glasgow, since it is the closest Dollarama to their home. Let me know for one reason or another if it wasn't. However, there is other information I found that they did go to New Glasgow that day. According to the affidavit, RCMP Corporal Charlene Kroll wrote, quote, "This could assist the investigation by helping police to identify further investigative avenues and leads and possibly lead to the location of the children." End quote. Over and over again in these documents, it is stated that the investigation is not criminal in nature at that point in time, but it may arise to that if the elements of a criminal offense are identified, meaning that at this point, there hasn't been any physical evidence to kind of meet those avenues. However, they have obtained some very strange items that I had never heard of before being found. I know when we've originally spoken about this case, we talked about footprints possibly being found, and that was kind of it. That was all that they really talked about. There was a lot more items that authorities took or found. Some items seized by police were the children's toothbrushes from the home. A sock was also allegedly found, along with a scrap of purple fabric around 1 kilometer away from the home in a tree. Because that purple scrap of fabric was allegedly a match to a blanket that was found in a trash bag at the end of the property's driveway.
I think it's pink, not purple.
Now, why would that be? And why isn't that being more widely spoken about? It's also noted that there were clumps of boot prints found in 2 different sizes, and that did include a child's. And these were found around the area of the pipeline in the first few days of the search. And I'm pretty sure these are the boot prints that we already have spoken about before previously. Other seizures included indent impression castings, typically used to gather casts of either the boot prints or possibly tire marks. There was also scat gathered poop, but
tire marks. I didn't get that before.
Authorities didn't say whether it was human or if it was animal. The documents also showed that the RCMP requested footage at the Cobequid Pass from a toll plaza on the Trans-Canada Highway in Nova Scotia between May 1st at 2:25 p.m. and May 3rd at 3 a.m., which is also interesting because there was a lot of talk in the initial weeks about the children possibly being kidnapped and taken out of state or possibly taken by certain individuals to maybe be hidden away. So that makes me wonder if they requested this footage for those reasons. One witness's report was also noted in the documents as well. That was highly interesting. This woman, who is noted to be named Natasha Haywood, filed her report on May 31st of 2025. So about a month after the children's disappearance. She described seeing a young girl walking, holding a young boy's hand. And they were walking towards a Caucasian woman in her 50s to 60s who had a loose curl haircut, who was waiting for them with the rear door open on a later model sedan that was either tan or gold colored. She described the boy as having dirty blonde hair and wearing shorts, while the girl had darkish hair that was worn in pigtails, and she was also wearing a tank top with blue strings. But at the time, authorities were working to validate the truth of this statement. Now, I'm not sure because it's been months. Was this validated? Did they ever find any evidence of this? Did they rule it out? There's no update on that. The documents are also said to detail the result.
It's mainly just to keep people, and myself included, from saying anything negative. If you don't believe in another creator or whatever, I just don't want to get into negative. But as far as crediting and referencing another creator's great work, I don't mind. But staying on topic and just because we don't believe in somebody else's thoughts, we're not going to disparage another creator, period. That's what that's about.
So both Malia and Daniel's polygraph tests, and that they answered truthfully on 4 questions that were not revealed in the documents. It was privileged information. They didn't want the public to know. And that does make me wonder, what were these 4 questions that they answered truthfully on? And then it also brings up the validity of polygraph tests. Do you believe that they work? I think that's up to the individual, because I know a lot of people do think that they hold some weight. Other people say, it doesn't. They're usually kind of just a good tool to have, but they're not actual evidence normally.
I think you can definitely, if you train, you can overcome a lie detector test, but they also never asked anything other than if the kids were killed, remember?
Sergeant Chris Daw, who conducted the polygraph tests, stated, quote, Malia willingly agreed to undergo a polygraph examination in relation to this investigation in an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder, end quote. I do find interesting that they specifically said possible murder, which makes me think then that authorities are looking into this on the back end as possibly being a murder and not just a disappearance. With that, let's talk about some new timeline information as well as statements that were brought to light in these documents. Malia actually provided multiple statements to police. As we know from very early on, she was radio silent in the media while Daniel was talking and talking and talking. However, she did give authorities a pretty detailed timeline from May 1st, the day before the children disappeared. According to Malia, she kept Jack and Lily home from school because they had coughs. Everyone woke up around 9 a.m. and the kids played and watched television while she got them breakfast and tidied the house. Around noon, she, Daniel, their toddler Meadow, Jack, and Lily ended up driving to New Glasgow in Malia's 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder, which is how we get the information of them going to the New Glasgow Dollarama. They stopped for gas and then possibly went to a Tim Hortons and then a Starbucks drive-thru. Malia said they visited Dollarama and they purchased items using Daniel's bank card before going to a pharmacy. Daniel also said they stopped at Acropole Pub and Grill to pick up poutine. That night, Malia told police she fed Jack and Lily supper, after which the kids watched television and possibly went outside to play. She brushed their teeth and got them ready for bed at 9 p.m., 2 hours later than usual. Something I found very odd is that she dressed them for bed in the same clothing that they would later disappear in. Lily in a pink sweater, pink pajamas with white shapes, a Barbie top, and pink socks. Jack in black sweatpants, a t-shirt, and diaper. Malia told police that this was because she was too tired to unpack the laundry that she'd done at her grandparents' home the night before. And so the children were allegedly tucked away to bed at 10 p.m. that night. Jack with his blanket and dinosaur, and Lily with her cream corduroy backpack with strawberries on it. Now, parents out there, does this sound odd at all? I know children get obsessed with certain little items and they want to have them around them all the time, but it just seems so coordinated and a little odd to me that Lily would go to bed, cuddling her backpack. And then the day she disappeared, this backpack is also in question. But let's get back to Malia's timeline. Malia claims she shut the children's bedroom door and then she and Meadow went to bed. According to what she told police, Daniel stayed up after her and Meadow went to sleep.
So Daniel has also said this, I believe, that he also stayed up later, right? She looks familiar. I don't know who we're talking about there. I think they did go home because we've got the witness accounts from the cars going back. I just don't think they were reported missing in the morning. I think they were disappeared. They had been removed from the premises somewhere between midnight and 5 a.m. when the neighbors saw and heard the cars going back and forth. That's my feeling, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
She was not woken up through the night and did not know when Daniel came to bed, which to me says that kind of feeds into why there is all this speculation on Daniel. That Malia is saying that she went to bed, but she doesn't know what Daniel was doing all night. However, Malia is the one that would later wake up on May 2nd and phone the children in absent from school around 6:15 a.m. And this was due to them allegedly having this cough still. Now, despite this interesting little note of information that Daniel stayed up possibly all night, we don't know that Daniel was still up. According to documents, Lily came in and out of the bedroom and both Daniel and Malia seen this. And they could hear Jack in the other room. So I don't really know why this detail about Daniel being up all night is really important then if they're claiming that the kids were still there in the morning. And they only claim Lily came in and out of the bedroom. There was this talk about this backpack, but they could only hear Jack in the other room. Jack was never seen since he was put to bed on May 1st physically, but he was allegedly heard. And it is the kids playing and laughing in the other room that they claim woke Meadow up. Meadow was sleeping in a crib in both Malia and Daniel's bedroom. So Malia got into bed, got Meadow out of the crib, and brought her back into her own bed.
I mean, Jerry Lynn, that's just my opinion, honey, but you're welcome to your own.
And she turned on the TV and then claims that they were in and out of sleep from there. It's noted that it's somewhere between 8 a.m. to 9:40 a.m. that the children left the house, is what Malia told the police. In a fifth statement that Malia provided the police on May 9th, she claimed that Daniel opened the front door to go look for the kids, stating, quote, he put a wrench on top of the door the night before and it didn't fall down. So Daniel said they must have gone out the back sliding door.
Why did he put a wrench on the top door? I mean, that is the strangest thing.
End quote. Daniel did confirm this, saying that he did this most nights, putting a wrench on top of the front door, not the sliding glass door, because a bear had been hanging around the area in the property. That's another interesting detail that we hadn't heard before, a wrench being put on that door. Why wasn't that ever noted in the previous initial interviews that were happening? Like, hey, we know for sure, like the kids had to have gone out this door, that wrench didn't fall down. But they never said that. It's in these documents, though, which is interesting. So according to what Daniel has stated, he has said that him and Malaya got up to look for the kids after they couldn't hear them no longer. When he couldn't see them, he ended up getting in his vehicle and driving around. He then ran around the woods searching for hours. He told authorities that while searching the woods, he could hear a scream that sounded like Jack and Lilly. But when he stopped to listen, a helicopter overhead drowned out all the other sounds.
I've never heard that before either. Have you heard this before? That Daniel said he heard a scream that sounded like Jack and Lilly, but he couldn't hear them? Because y'all, do you remember me when I pinned and I said I felt like they were hiding while the searchers were out? This is very strange.
Daniel's mother, Janie McKenzie, also provided 2 statements to police. In her version of events, she dozed off around 8:50 a.m. and woke to the sound of her dogs barking.
No
She told
kidding,
police she heard Jack and Lilly
Michelle.
playing on the swings and laughing in the
No
backyard
kidding.
before she dozed off again. She awoke to Daniel yelling for the children, got her coat and boots on, and then walked around looking for them. So what do you all think about this information that was provided in these affidavits? It definitely adds a lot more context that we were missing before, I feel. So I'm going to be in the comment section chatting with you all about these court documents. I am surprised I didn't hear about them when they were released. I just ended up stumbling upon them because I decided to do a little looking into if there was any updates in this case. I found Global Mail had this information and I was like, this is quite shocking that this has come out. I feel like it needs to be talked about more. Also, let me know if you guys want a video of me going back through the entire timeline with all of this new information.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Now we're going to watch something really fun, hopefully, here that we've not seen. Oh, I'm going to read this first because I didn't even know about this update. I'm going to read this update and then we're going to watch a video from somebody we really like in an analysis of Jack and Lilly here before we get to Sebastian. But I also didn't know that the police had done a release. No, you've never heard about a scream either? Me neither. No, me neither. I did hear something about this in the beginning, way in the beginning. Yes, I heard Daniel while he was running frantically through the woods said he could hear them yell, but the helicopter drowned. That is wild. That is wild. Because y'all, the new channel, MMO Tarot, is going to be the one that I do the psychic downloads going forward on. So if you're interested in that and the tarot readings and everything, that'll go on the new channel. I did a reading on the Black Barn, that pinned right there under the description is the new channel link, because eventually I'm not doing any tarot readings. This will be just for lives, non-psychic stuff, non-tarot stuff, non-channeling, non-visions, and the other channel will be all about that. So make sure if you're interested in my work as a psychic medium that you go and sub up on the other channel. But I remember saying, you remember too, Stella, I said that I thought, like, I got the sense that they were hiding while the searchers were looking around. Like, holy crap. Tried to say he thought he heard the kids screaming, but then he couldn't hear them because of the helicopter. Yeah, that's maybe, but Geraldine, I'm also wondering now, because I had that vision and I've said it here on this channel that I felt like they were hiding while the workers were around, searchers. I'm just curious now. Okay, so this is a news release from the RCMP, which I didn't get because I didn't search for it, quite frankly. October 8th, and then we're going to watch a very interesting analysis of Jack and Lilly by a police officer of 40 years. Investigators continue to explore all possible scenarios to locate Lilly and Jack Sullivan and appeal for more information. So this is where, you know, people that yelled at me, you can't hear because of the helicopter. Yeah, Black House and what not came to you. I know, sweetie. Well, there's another reading on that Black House today. I did a second one in Wild It's Wild. Why didn't DM immediately head in the direction of the screaming? Well, good question. I heard from, well, maybe he couldn't hear where it was because he was drowned out. That was like a rumor that Daniel put a wrench above the door for noise of bear broken. Yeah, I heard that. Put it there so he couldn't be alerted if Malaya was sneaking out. I mean, that could be. Maybe that's right. Maybe, Melinda, that's a great analysis. Maybe he did that while they were taking the kids and removing the kids to alert himself, if he heard it, that the Malaya was up. That is such a good analysis. Sounds like those children were close while people were looking for them. Could be so. Yeah. Let's read this, and then we're going to watch this investigator. The Northeast Nova Scotia RCMP Major Crime Unit continues to explore all possible scenarios in its effort to locate Lilly and Jack Sullivan after searches in Lansdowne Station didn't result in finding human remains. In late September, Inspector Luke Reddy and his police dog Narc, as well as Sergeant Dave Whalen and his police dog Kit, searched for Lilly and Jack in Lansdowne Station, covering a total area of 40 kilometers. The teams, specially trained in detecting human remains, searched at the property from which the children went missing, along the pipeline and intersecting trails. And in an area where a pink blanket was previously found, all locations were there with the highest probability of finding the children. However, the teams did not locate any remains. The dogs are highly trained to detect and indicate the scent of human remains. Therefore, if the dogs did not alert the handlers, it suggests the dogs were never in the presence of human remains odor, explains Sergeant Stephen Pike, RCMP Police Dog Services Training Center. However, this doesn't definitely rule out the presence of remains in the areas that were searched. It means either the odor is there and couldn't be detected, or the odor isn't there. Well, you're going to want to see the reading I did, because we get a little bit of an insight into how it's so weird. I'd never heard that before. How they're possibly contained. Check out the reading that'll be released at 3:00 today on that Black Barn. While the searches were occurring, the investigative team in the Northeast Nova Scotia MCU continued to assess and follow up on the information that was being gleaned from more than 860 tips received to date and 8,060 video files that have been reviewed and forensic testing that continues. There are multiple aspects of this investigation ongoing simultaneously, says Sergeant Rob McCammon, officer in charge acting of Major Crime and Behavioral Services. Each piece of information, including the results from the search teams, helps inform our next steps. With support from agencies across Canada, the investigation team is working to validate or eliminate leads. So they're sifting through their leads to validate or eliminate leads and follow the evidence wherever it takes us. At this stage, and as we've said all along, we're considering all possibilities. That has been said, but not nearly as pronounced as in this article, which they released October 8th, just a month and a half ago. So they are considering all possibilities, which we now learn with this unredacted document we just went through, that they don't believe the kids just walked out the back door. We will continue until we determine with certainty the circumstances of the children's disappearance and they're found. Investigators urge anyone with information about Jack and Lily's whereabouts to call the Northeast Nova Scotia RCMP Major Crime Unit. And there's the phone numbers at 902-896-5060 or contact Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers toll free at 1-800-222-TIPS 8477. Or you can secure a web tip at www.crimesstoppers.novascotians.ca. Or use the P3 Tips app. Sometimes the smallest details hold the biggest clues. The one piece of information may help reveal a key piece in the investigation that leads to finding Jack and Lily. Sergeant McCammon. And that is absolutely true in my experience working in as a psychic medium. It's sometimes the smallest little most obscure thing that you think, you hear the word apple, or in yesterday, the case carnival. And it may seem like a small thing to you, but it's actually really important. And so everybody that was yelling at me, stop bugging the RCMP, nobody here in the chat here now, the people that I had to block. If anybody comes up and says, yeah, stop leaving them alone, leave them alone. They don't want you to waste their time. We just read where they're asking for any small tip that might help them solve this case. They're still asking for tips. They're eliminating theories and going with where the evidence is leading them, and they're looking for more tips. So what we've just can conclude here is they do not believe that the kids walked away. They need tips. They need tips to prove they didn't walk away. So listen to this analysis. Very good analysis. I love this man. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit because it's 43 minutes long. And then we're getting into Sebastian Rogers. So thank you for your patience, everybody. Because then after this, it's 43 minutes long. I'm going to speed it up a bit. We're going to listen to Sebastian Rogers updates. Oh, wild. This is wild. So this gentleman is the Can-Am. We've showed him here before on this channel. David Polides. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And I have not listened to this. This is his first update on Jack and Lilly. He runs the Can-Am Missing Project for Canadian and American children that are missing. Sorry, let me find the right one. And so he's a 40-year veteran, 40 years in law enforcement. And he specifically, this channel is for missing children, both in the United States and Canada. And he analyzes this case. And I want you to hear what he has to say. This is 3 months ago. So 3 months into the Jack and Lilly case, this is what he has to say.
Fred Stapleitis, Canadian Missing Project. That is the executive producer of the show, Huck. And she is very excited today. Been running around like a crazy girl, feeling healthy, having fun. She's happy. And she's in here with the underlings, me, bossing me around, telling me what to do. But she is the executive producer.
You're welcome, honey. You're welcome.
Of Huck TV. So, we got a lengthy one for you today.
I was speeding it out, but it's interesting. It's going to run to the washroom again. My coffee.
That I've been all over Nova Scotia's case about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. 2 little kids disappeared in May. And I want to give you a little background on some things, just so you know. Police's responsibility when it comes to small kids. What you're trained at the police academy is when you go into a home and it deals with a welfare check on the kids, you really don't give a rat's butt about what the parents think. You are the sole and only advocate for those kids that are in that home. And you have to be worried about one thing: their ability to thrive in that home. And if they can't, they come out. As an example, if there's no food in the home, no question, they're out. No, sorry. No food, no kids. Now, your idea of cleanliness and my idea of cleanliness may be 2 different things. In general, if the common person went in the home and thought it was too filthy for the kids to be around, they come out. And as an example, I've been in a home before where there was dog excrement and cat excrement everywhere. People had stepped in it. It was all over the floor, all over the house. Kids out. There's no way I'm leaving them there. No, sorry. No, they're coming out. If there's dirty plates, dirty dishes, bugs crawling all over the counter, out. And I never had a guilty conscience about doing those things. Why? Because I was always afraid that if I erred on the side of the parents, that something would happen to those kids. And I'd come back a couple days later and I'd find a body there, and I couldn't live with that. So if I wanted to get yelled at by social services about why I took those kids out, let it be. I got big shoulders. I can take care of it. But you know what? In a 20-year career, I never got yelled at. I never got counseled. I got thanked a lot. There were times, and I can think of 2, where I went into a home the day after social services were there, and I took the kids out, and social services did squat. I actually called a supervisor in, my supervisor, because I wanted him to be a witness that social services hadn't done a damn thing. And together, he and I made a big stink about this to the county, saying that they weren't doing their job, and that social services worker should be fired. I never know if they were fired or not, but they weren't doing their job. Now, sometimes when you're getting these predicaments where you get called to a home, trust me, this is all coming back to what we're talking about tonight. I'm just prepping you with the mindset you're supposed to be having as a police officer. Sometimes when I went into these homes, you would call for social services, their on-call rep, to get to the house. I always work nights, either 3 at night, 3 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning, or 5 at night till 3 in the morning. Social services, their main office was always closed, so you had to wait for a standby person to get there. Never had a problem with that. Because when I ordered the kids out, they had to take the kids. It wasn't, we don't want to. No, you're going to. That's it. Now, they could take those kids and put them in a foster home for one night and put them back the next day, but I never heard that happen. So as the first line of defense for kids, police officers have to be thinking about them, number 1. So now that you got that, let's get into the story. This is a major update on Lilly and Jack. I did a lengthy story about them after they disappeared. Here's the update. I read probably 25 different articles to get to what I'm going to give you today. They went missing May 2nd, 2025. They lived in a small area called Lansdowne, Nova Scotia. They lived about 150 kilometers from Halifax. And they lived with their stepfather, Daniel Martel, and their mother, Malaya Murray. Martel was 34, Malaya was 27. And also on the property was the step-grandmother, which would be Daniel's mother, lived on the property there. They lived in a house trailer. She lived in a kind of house trailer kind of thing in another part of the property. Now, Malaya was a First Nations member and had a small baby named Meadow. So inside their living arrangement, there was a large wooden stove, kids' artwork around the kitchen, a sliding door to the side yard, where the kids played next to a chicken coop. Now, the kids regularly played right on the perimeter of the woods around their home, every day, with clockwork, every day. Now, there was a 2-lane road in front of their home that was paved. This is a pretty remote location. They had neighbors, but not many. The kids attended a school called Salt Springs Elementary. And every day they'd get their backpacks on and they'd walk out to the roadway and they'd wait for the school bus to drive up, pick them up, and take them on a 20-minute ride to school. And it was stated that they went most days. Now, the day of the disappearance, at 6:15 in the morning, Malaya, the mom, marked her kids as absent from school, and she stated because Lily had a cough. Remember, there's a reason. Lily had a cough. Now, when they said they marked him absent, I'm going to guess that she logged into a computer and did it that way.
Just before I forget, I'm sorry to cut this and stop it, but just before I forget, I did a video yesterday comparing Jack and Lily and Elijah Vu. Did y'all watch that? Oh my God. And it was thanks to Hunter S. True Crime. He had started a video compilation and I heard it and I was like, wow, go check that out because it's really, really crazy. Sorry for interrupting. Keep listening. And we are going to do Sebastian after this. And the next time I do Sebastian, we're going to focus on the Carnival cruises. So keep listening.
Now, the morning of the disappearance, the parents said that they heard Lily and Jack playing in the next room over from where they were laying in a room with their infant child, and that they dozed off accidentally and went back to sleep. At about 9:45 in the morning, they said that they woke up and they couldn't hear the kids anymore. They both got up, searched their trailer, searched the grounds, couldn't find the kids. Now, Cody Sullivan has been separated from Lily and Jack and Malaya for 3 years. And Belinda Gray is Cody's mom. Now, after this disappearance happened, she did respond and search for the kids. Now, Daniel, at the time of the disappearance, was employed at a local hardwood mill. But after the disappearance, he went on stress disability. Now, he had his hours shortened at the mill because there wasn't as much logging going on in the area for a variety of reasons. Now, Daniel went out and started to search around for the kids the morning they disappeared. Lily's pink rubber boots and a white backpack were gone, never found. He drives around, searches the dirt roads, things, nothing. At 10 a.m., Malaya, the mom, calls 911. Daniel gets back into her car and starts searching the dirt roads and the culverts. Not long after that, the RCMP arrived, and not long after that, they called for search and rescue, and they started arriving. They didn't wait long, which was smart. With kids, you got to get right on it right away. Let's stop here for a second. Having done a variety of trips into areas where people have gone missing, having done 3 movies regarding missing 411 where kids disappear, and interviewed the sheriffs of these different jurisdictions.
This guy's been in 3 movies. He's been in law enforcement for 40 years, and he now runs the Can-Am Canadian American Missing Kids Project. He knows his stuff.
There's quite a variety of theories about when kids go missing and how you handle it. I interviewed a sheriff that covered a Crater Lake disappearance in one of my movies. And he said, Dave, right from the beginning with kids, you throw every resource you've got at it.
Yep.
First, the dogs go in, try to pick up a scent, and then right on the heels of those dogs is everyone you can imagine. If you get 500 people, you throw them in there. And he was a little pissed at the Park Service because they weren't throwing a lot of resources at it. And he said, it's their jurisdiction. I can only make recommendations. But he was mad. So different theories by different jurisdictions.
We've talked about resources here. When I was upset that Chad was away on holidays and he's supposed to be the one taking the tips in the emails. And we've talked about a lack of resources, and now it's coming up again. Sometimes police parents involved in missing cases, they copy each other's information behaviors. It could be because I found Malaya's statement very similar to the aunt's statement of Elijah Vu. It was really wild for me.
But the sheriff said that when you have young kids, they don't have the ability to rebound from cold temps, bad weather like adults do. That's why you got to get on it quickly. Well, search and rescue people started arriving soon after. And that very first day, they put up drones, helicopters, ground pounders, canines. Everyone you can imagine is looking for these kids. The first day. Now, Daniel's mom, Janie, lives in a camper on the property that was searched. And they searched her camper. And they searched the family's trailer. Inch by inch, multiple times. 11:30 that morning, Malaya texts her paternal grandmother stating, quote, "I never thought they'd run off on me like that. I'm so distraught." 11:30 in the morning. RCMP have only been there an hour and a half. "I never thought they'd run off on me like that. I'm so distraught." About 3 p.m., middle of the afternoon, she texts again, quote, "Many are suspecting that they were picked up by somebody because there's no trace of them and Lily's backpack is gone." Daniel was continuing to search the creek's forest in the back. And he was racing around like a madman. I mean, searching hard, like a dad should. At a short distance from the house, searchers were brought to a location where there's a blanket, pink blanket, tied around a branch of a tree. And Malaya said it belonged to Lily. It was torn and wound around this branch. It was about 1 kilometer from the home on a dirt road going into the woods. Strange location, too far from the home for it to be there normally. A police officer that day asked Daniel about the blanket, and he said it wasn't Lily's. Keep that in mind.
Did he really? Did he really say it wasn't Lily's at the beginning? I don't remember that. But then again, I haven't watched all of It's a Crime and Shame. I haven't watched it because like she does 5-hour lives. They're hard to watch. And so I really don't know what a lot of what he said. Did you see his recent Jack and Lily update he made about Jack and Lily basically shaming RCMP and all the... Yeah, we watched that one before on this channel. Michelle, we watched it before here. Yeah, I know. It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, so Dolphin, you remember that? I don't remember that he first said that it wasn't Lily's. That's very interesting.
Officers continued to spread the search out, going to local homes. And one of those homes belonged to Daniel's father, a man named Earl Martell. He was a retired plant worker, lived atop a hill in a home he built 40 years ago. Earl graciously allowed people to come in to search garages, trailers, old cars. Daniel's old car was a junker there. Everything. And searchers kept going night and day. Stop here for a second.
That's wild.
Already, by the time I was doing this secondary research.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that even just validates for me. I think that blanket was a plant. And that tells me that maybe Daniel tried to plant it as a diversion. I don't really know. I don't really know.
I was stunned. So Daniel's mom lived on the property where he and Malaya lived. And then a short distance away, his dad also lived nearby. I didn't know any of this. I was never stated before. Just saying. Now, Belinda was Earl's ex-wife, current wife. It's a little vague there. So she stated that after she heard the kids were missing, she responded down there to help the search. She also said that she'd never been invited into Daniel and Malaya's house. But after the search started and she went down, she finally did get invited in. And she said it was a cluttered kitchen, junk-strewn yard, and it was just the opposite of neat and tidy of the woman she knew when Daniel first dated her. I'm not sure what that tells you, but that was just from one of the moms. Now, it rained several days right at the beginning of this search. Kind of hits me as a 411, right? Woods in the backyard, no scent trail, dogs aren't picking up anything, rains right away. Now, both Daniel and Malaya pleaded with the police station an Amber Alert early on because they believed that the kids were abducted.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why. Police said that there was no evidence of abduction. Malaya said that the kids were very friendly to strangers And the Nova Scotia police explained to the media and to the parents that they needed specific criteria to issue an Amber Alert, and they didn't have it. I understand that, and I get that. And if everything they're saying is true, they didn't have enough to issue an Amber Alert. Now, Daniel said something that I'd never heard before either. He said that both kids are undiagnosed autistic. Wow, that's pretty huge. He said, as long as you offer them food and water, or you say, I'm taking you to your mom and dad, they'll go with you. One of the primary duties of being a parent is teaching your kids right and wrong and how to protect themselves. Remember the old one, you don't talk to strangers? Apparently his kids do. What about the old saying, you don't take anything from a stranger? Apparently they didn't learn that lesson. Now I'm amazed that the police never said that they were undiagnosed autistics. I think that would be important. Just saying. So early in the search one afternoon, this is important. This is a big one. Early in the search, there was a discussion about meth use in Malaya and Daniel's home. This was done right at the doorway to their home. One of Malaya's relatives made an accusation saying that Daniel must have something to do with the kid's disappearance. Daniel's mother, Janie, remember, lived on the property, owns the property, ordered Malaya's family off the property. I could see how this could be some trouble. And meth use. That's the first time I'm hearing this. So just down the road was a search and rescue headquarters, and Daniel and Malaya were there. The way the story evolved is that searchers were pointing to the maps where they had been searching in front of Daniel and Malaya. About that time, Malaya says she's not feeling well and walked out with her baby Meadow on her hip. And she was sobbing. And her mom, Cindy, was next to her. Think about this really rationally. You're giving the parents a briefing about what you're doing. You're saying, this is the area we searched. We're not finding anything. We still have all this area to search, and we're going to do it. We're going to keep going. About this time, Malaya breaks down and walks outside with her mom on her heels. So Daniel walks outside, and it's Malaya, her mom, Cindy, and Daniel. And Daniel says, hey, can I talk to Malaya alone? Cindy steps in front of Daniel and blocked him from contacting her. Daniel yells, Cindy, get the F out of here. So you have two things going on. You have the thing at the residence where they're talking about meth use and accusations. You have something over here going on at the search and rescue, and it's kind of going on at the same time, best I could tell. Malaya picked up her stuff with her mom, left, and never came back to that residence. Belinda stated, listen carefully. Belinda, Earl Martell's wife, Daniel's mom, if she could, quoting, if she could leave, then it meant she knew her kids weren't coming back. Wow. If you guys are with me, back when I originally told you this event, I said, I've never heard of a mother leaving the home where the child disappeared from during the search. I never heard that, ever. I don't care how much abuse I'm taking. I'm not leaving. You can leave. I'm not leaving. Because my kids, if there's a chance they're coming back, I'm staying. But that's just me. The Mounties made a press statement at about this time that they confirmed that the night before the kids disappeared, on May 1st, that night, they confirmed that the kids were seen by several members of the public in their yard, alive. It's important. Last time they were confirmed to be alive. Kids disappeared May 2nd. 6 days later, May 8th. RCMP received a tip from a neighbor the night, really the morning, early morning before the disappearance, sometime between midnight and 5 a.m., that the neighbor heard a vehicle coming and going from their residence throughout the night. The neighbor said he was working on his car in his yard between midnight and 5 a.m. and said a loud car went back and forth 6 times. He said, after the kid's disappearance, I thought about it, and I said, I better report this. 6 days after the search started, the RCMP pulled back and reduced their searching. Stop for a second. The night before the disappearance, a car goes back and forth between midnight and 5 a.m. So I remember when I was a young dad and we had young kids, most important thing to me is to get good sleep so I could be a good parent the next morning. Who is getting up for 5 hours of primetime sleep to meet somebody coming to and from their residence hours before the kids are reported missing? I don't think that's a little development. I think that's a big banana development.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was the RCMP, I would be getting search warrants for the phones of Malaya and Daniel. And I would be going to their cell phone carrier and getting every text message and every phone, everything that they've made in the previous week. And it only gets worse, folks. Well, in the following weeks, the police returned twice to search a pipeline area behind the house and a clear-cut trail. They also came back and they drained the home's septic tank. They inspected 4 mine shafts in the area. And they said that they'll continue to come back and do more mine shafts. And Nova Scotia issued a $150,000 reward, with the detective saying that this case is highly unusual. Yeah. The Mounties stated that they've completed 10 different judicial authorizations. That's what they call them. We call them search warrants, subpoenas, seized records, search warrants, polygraphs, took possession of electronic devices, video files, and they did some forensic tests. This made me feel a lot better.
So don't forget, we saw yesterday, was it? Or the day before, that in a report we were reading that sometimes, I think it was with respect to Gus Lamont, because we were like, where are the parents? Oh yeah, it was True Crime Rocket Science, because he does a lot of deep diving, that sometimes parents find it too traumatic to go back to the house where the kids went missing. So, I mean, there's that, but I know y'all don't think that's the cause of why she never came back. I lean a little differently, but that's just my opinion.
At least doing something. Now, they didn't say what they did.
Thank you.
They should have seized both phones of both parents. And then found out who they were talking to that was coming to the home the night before.
We got 10 more minutes of this, and then we're heading into Sebastian. Stick around for that.
And I would have put my 2 best detectives on that person that was coming to and from the house. And I would have pulled them into the office and had a little conversation about what they were doing there. And then I would have put them on a polygraph. Then I would have checked their criminal history. It's just too coincidental. And then later on, Daniel's confronted with Lily's blanket, remember, hanging on the tree? And then he changed his mind and he said it was planted there and it was taken from the garbage. Somebody planted it there. Who's that? Well, yeah, I don't know. Now here comes a really tough part for me. The day the kids vanished, Child Protective Services in Nova Scotia and the town of Glasgow, the closest town, prepared a special memo for the Deputy Minister of Nova Scotia, a guy named Beaton. But the government refused to allow what that memo said. Now, several months before the disappearance, a social worker came to Lily and Jack's home to assess life at their home. Remember what I told you about? How police officers come to the home? Daniel, when questioned, said that this was related to the kids' learning difficulties. Interesting. But when questioned further, he refused to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Both kids were developmentally behind other kids the same age at the school. Now here's the part I want you to pay intimate attention. The kids disappeared May 2nd, 2025. September 2024, Jack came to school with a possible black eye, very light, and facial bruising. September 2024. December 2024, Jack came to school with a significant black eye. I'm just saying, I don't remember Ben, when he was young, ever getting a black eye. And he played rough and tumble hockey. Well, he did get a black eye when he was playing in major juniors, and that was in a fight. But when he was 4 or 5 years old, no, never happened. Does it happen? Oh, I'm sure it does. But 2 black eyes, months apart? I'd be suspicious. Daniel said that one of them was caused by Lily, and he didn't respond to other questions. Now, here's the one.
So I do want to say, I talked to my daughter about this, because if you don't know, my daughter is runs the autoimmune clinic at the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, has her master's in nursing, and used to run the ER at CHEO, the charge nurse at CHEO, and still work overtime as the ER nurse to pay for my bills until I can get this channel up and running to pay my bills. And she's been doing that for years, since what happened to my dad. Bless her soul. But I asked her about this, and she said, Mom, autistic children are often very bruised, okay, because they can bang toys and stuff into their eyes. So just saying, that's a different perspective. Do I think that's what happened here? She's not following this case. That was just her piece of advice. Oh my God, my guides have come in just now. I don't know what's going on, but my guides are coming in. Wild. Okay. We're going to go on to Sebastian soon. So I don't know what that means, but my guides have just showed up. So let's just be prepared for the unexpected, everybody. Let's just keep listening.
I nearly fell out of my seat. Daniel, when he was being questioned, said, well, just by chance, the morning that Lilly disappeared, she had a black eye too, caused by a Tonka truck. I sat back in my chair and I said, hold your taters. Remember,
hold your tickers.
Social services had come to Lilly and Jack's house because of concerns by the school. Do you think that Daniel and Malaya wanted to send their kids to school with a black eye?
No.
Again?
I don't. Do you?
And raise the suspicions of the school again? Or would it just be easier to say she had a cough and she didn't come to school? That's 3 black eyes and 2 kids in less than a year. Friends, I'm sorry, that's too many black eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was also said that Malaya and Daniel were under financial constraints. Daniel was getting fewer hours at the mill. Daniel's car was not drivable. And Daniel's father had actually brought food to their house for the family. Malaya had told her friends that Daniel was very controlling and would sometimes hold her down and take her phone. Then she said that Daniel concealed his drug addiction the first year that they lived together. How can you live with somebody and conceal a drug addiction? I guess you could if somebody was completely innocent and knew nothing, but you couldn't do that around me. And then Daniel later admitted to taking many, many types of different drugs. Daniel said he had nothing to do with the kid's disappearance. And he told the reporters that he had taken a polygraph test and passed. Now, there was never any mention by the RCMP, parents, nobody, if he passed the polygraph. Relatives of Lilly and Jack had stated that the kids had never wandered into those woods before. And because of that, they don't believe that they wandered into those woods that morning. And they believed that somebody abducted them. One thing, early in this event, I said that the RCMP should have closed that road in front of their house in both directions and questioned everybody coming up and down that road. Everyone. You remember that? Now maybe it makes a little more sense because somebody was coming to and from that house in the middle of the morning. Well, maybe somebody knew who that car belonged to. See why I made that recommendation? Friends, I want you to understand something. The system is set up to save kids. If you're a parent and the school sends out a social worker to check on your child, you should feel blessed that the system is working to protect kids. You shouldn't be offended. Teachers, if you're a teacher out there and you have the slightest concern that a child is being abused at their home, oh yeah, you call Child Protective Services. By law, you're supposed to. Because you will never be able to live adequately with the nightmare if you find out that child died because of child abuse. The system has to work for the children to thrive. Think about this. In this instance, the parents, the friends, the school, the social workers, everybody failed these kids. Everybody failed. As an example, when I was married, we had young kids. I worked 5 at night to 3 in the morning. I usually slept, from the time I got home at 4 in the morning till sometimes noon. As the kids got older, I could trust them to be in the house watching TV. We actually had an alarm put in the house. So if the kids opened the door, alarm would go off. There's no way I could sleep through it. It never happened because the kids knew. But it was one of those small things that we did to make sure that we were good parents. We wouldn't miss anything. You got to want to be a good parent. Electronics. Daniel and Malea's cell phone. In my humble opinion, the key piece of evidence here. I want to see all the pictures on that phone. I want to see who they've been texting, who they've been phoning, who's been leaving them voicemails. And then I want to track that phone, see where it's been all around Nova Scotia. This takes a lot of work, folks. A lot of work. But you're talking about 2 kids' lives, not 1, 2. The night before the disappearance, who came by that house? I think that that's one of the biggest leads they have on this case. Now, they have stated many times that there's no evidence of abduction. You're going to think this is a stupid comment. There's no evidence there wasn't an abduction. And then what are the results of the polygraph? To specific questions. Ask Daniel. In the pre-polygraph interview, who was the person that came by that house 5 times in the middle of the night? Give him the name. Why was he coming by? Give him the reason. Then in the polygraph, did you see so-and-so, John Doe, if that was the person that came by the night before? Did you see John Doe last night? Yes or no? Was John Doe there to drop off furniture? Yes or no? Does John Doe know what happened to Lily? Does he know what happened to Jack? If the polygraph starts going crazy, you know the questions that they're being evasive on and not telling the truth. Were the kids abused? How did Lily get a black eye the day before she disappears? If it was caused by one of the parents who got angry, did they get so angry that they caused her some type of injury that may have hurt her seriously? You've got to ask yourself those questions. With what's come out just in the last week on this case, I'm amazed that the RCMP hasn't made an arrest. Truly, I'm amazed. With what they should have gotten off those phones, the case should be closed. Now,
don't forget this statement was made 3 months ago.
When you get a police officer coming out of the police academy and you send him out to interview somebody about child abduction or murder, the person they're interviewing is going to walk all over them because they don't know how to interview somebody who's guilty of a serious crime. The interviewer doesn't know the mannerisms, the eye movement, the hand movement that may indicate guilt or innocence. So if you're somebody from the RCMP in Nova Scotia who hasn't really done a lot of serious cases, I have great doubt that they conducted adequate interviews on this case. And what really worries me, seriously worries me, is that we may never know what happened.
So he's questioning the resources and the talent, if you will, their ability of the Nova Scotia RCMP detachment to properly investigate. Because I don't know where he's getting that from, why specifically this RCMP location, but I guess he somehow believes that there's a lot of young, newer RCMP officers, I'm getting, less experienced RCMP officers looking at this case.
Willie and Jack. Friends, I thank you for being here.
Okay. It's time for Sebastian. I told you it was going to be a long stream today. We're getting into Sebastian. Now, do you want to watch this video, this guy's analysis of Sebastian Rogers first? Because I got to figure out which clip that is. Yes, Kitty. Yes, Kitty. Okay. What did I tape? I videotaped. Oh, right. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to do it in a little bit of different order because we've already got him pulled up. This is not as long of an analysis on Jack and as he did with Jack and Lily and Sebastian, but since we already have him pulled up, I've got 5 different things to show you on Sebastian. So let's listen to what he has to say. He talks quite slow, so I'm speeding it up quite a bit here. But let's listen to his analysis of Sebastian. I have never heard his analysis of Sebastian. So
Friends, this was Can't Have Missing Project Cut Brothers edition for a video channel. As we all know, we had 2 people missing from Tennessee. One in Charlotte, or I'm sorry, one in Nashville, and one about 20 miles outside of Nashville. And we're going to talk about one of those, a young boy, 15 years old, Sebastian Rogers. Went missing February 26th this year. He was described as a high-functioning autistic boy, 5'5", 120 wore glasses. Now, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, which is a great outfit, issued this Amber Alert for Sebastian. He was wearing a black sweatshirt, black pants. He left, now listen carefully, he left without shoes, no coat, no phone. And his parents said he never went anywhere without his phone. He was attached to it. And he lived with his biological mom and stepdad. His father's a deputy sheriff in Davidson County. Let's go backwards a little bit. So Sebastian disappeared in the middle of the night on February 26th. Riley Strain in Nashville disappeared 11 days later on March 8th at 9:50 p.m. So hold those thoughts. On February 25th, the night before his disappearance, Sebastian had a normal night. His mom said nothing was unusual. He said at 9 o'clock, she told him to take out the garbage, which he normally did. No big deal. After he took out the garbage, it was time for bed. He went to bed. No big deal. Mom said completely normal. Those are important indicators. Somebody who's highly autistic doesn't hide things well. They live out their issues in front of people. They don't internalize much that doesn't come outward. Well, on February 26th, early in the morning at 6 o'clock, she went in his room just like normal to wake him up. He wasn't in the bed. Searched the room, thought maybe he was playing hide and seek. No, wasn't playing hide and seek. Searched the house. Then she started getting nervous. Got in her car, drive around the neighborhood. Key points. This young man had never run away. He never left in the middle of the night. Mom calls family calls the sheriff. Sheriff comes out, and right away they call for a full search and rescue call out. Now, what's unusual about this, in my mind, is that his parents said he left with a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't leave with a flashlight unless you're looking for something or you're going somewhere at night.
Remember that, because this is going to come up later, this flashlight situation. You're still learning about this case. Yeah, we're going to start going back with Sebastian, Jerry Lynn. I've covered him before on this channel. You can go look at old videos. A lot of them are still privatized. I got to release them. And members only, there's some videos in there on Sebastian. It's only $2.99 USD a month. And there's lots of videos in there, but we are going to go back to covering Sebastian from the beginning. I took a little mental break. And next time we cover Sebastian, we're going to get into the cruises, Carnival Cruise Lines.
There was recently
and I'm doing a live tomorrow at 11. I won't be doing Thursday at 11 because I'm visiting with my daughter who's got the day off, and Rory, my granddaughter, but I'll do Thursday later in the day when I get home, supper time.
Video surveillance footage that night at 3:10 a.m. behind his house in a common area between homes. I have two different flashlights, probably two different people, at 3:10 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Okay, listen to this, because you're welcome, hun. Listen to this, because y'all know the flashlight case and the audio that I came up with. Listen to what he says about it, and then we're going to go to an update recently that just effing floors me. It freaking floors me in this case, because he's talking about the video with the flashlights. This is a 40-year veteran. He's not talking about them being mysteriously garbage can lights or garbage truck lights. Let's listen.
That night at 3:10 a.m. behind his house in a common area between homes. I have two different flashlights, probably two different people, at 3:10 a.m. Now, is it possible Riley saw them and went outside to investigate? I don't know. Well, on February 26th, the sheriff's office sent out helicopters, drones, ATV, UTV. And then on that day, through March 5th, they threw the kitchen sink at this. Bloodhounds, ground pounders. They called in dozens of agencies, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, dive teams, Tennessee National Guard, FBI. They wouldn't have called in Tennessee Bureau of Investigation unless they thought there was a crime. They wouldn't have called the FBI unless they thought there was a crime.
Okay, that's news.
They're not saying it right now.
No, they're not.
I'll say it. I think it's a crime.
Okay, well, that's fascinating. Because the narrative that we heard with the RCMP, that comes up shortly in Sebastian too. That's why the beginning of this, I was going to name this video when the police formal statements aren't exactly what they believe, but it just got too complicated. So I didn't do that as the title, but we're going to talk about this, the police official narrative on this flashlight thing in a second after this. but he is not buying their narrative that the flashlights are garbage cans, from what I can tell here.
March 7th, TBI made a statement. There's no proof there is a crime, and there's no proof there isn't a crime. Well, that's the biggest statement of the year that absolutely says nothing. That's just like covering your butt. Now, normal behavior at bedtime.
Yeah, cover your butt,
2 points.
David.
When I heard he left the phone behind and that the phone was attached to him always, it's almost as though he was told to leave the phone behind because that's a tracking mechanism. That's what I thought. No shoes. It was cold in Tennessee. Why leave without shoes and a coat? It's cold. When it's cold, it's painful to walk on your feet. It's dark, but he took a flashlight. I guess I'd want to know, has he ever taken a flashlight at night before?
See, I think my theory, because I have now, unfortunately, I'd have to go through all my emails because when I had to get my laptop wiped out because of my creepy neighbor, I lost that on my desktop. I lost all the files of the audio, but I can find the original audio in my email, and I can go back to all the lives we did where we listened to the audio attached to this flashlight clip, y'all. And I think that Katie and Chris, CP and KP, in my opinion, knew that this flashlight video might be out there where there could be them spotted with the flashlight walking across the lawn, hence why they put this statement out. Not us with the flashlight. Sebastian took his flashlight. That's a cover there, you know what statement, just my opinion. Just my opinion.
All the night. I want to know if the flashlight was in his room, or did he have to go across the family house to get a flashlight?
Exactly, Krista.
His parents said that he was a boy of routine. Why would you change that now? I also want to know if Riley had any issues at school. Had he been threatened, bullied? And the point I'm getting to with that, his mom was getting him up to go.
He says Riley, he meant Sebastian.
Sometimes kids that are bullied do the worst of things to themselves. And bullying has led to many deaths. I'd want to know the frame of mind. I would definitely send a detective to school and talk to the teachers, people that are patrolling the grounds of the school during recess. I'd want to know all this. So this is where the family lived, on Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I'll back this up a little bit. Down in here is the Cumberland River. 5 miles from here to the river. Not that far. Not that far.
Wow. I have not heard this analysis before. And y'all know, where did I go right away with Sebastian Rogers? Cumberland River. This is blowing my mind that he thinks this early on. We're going to another 14 minutes sped up to listen to this. And then I got other videos on Sebastian. But this one is wild. This is wild. I had no idea.
Where else does the Cumberland River go? Nashville. And who disappeared in Nashville in the Cumberland River? Riley Strain. 11 days apart between the two cases. I'm sure it's just a mere coincidence, right? Since all of you believe in coincidence. And a few other things. On Sebastian, autistic kids have a habit of hiding from people they don't know. So you have people in the woods looking for him, calling his name. Autistic kids have a habit of not responding to that, staying under bushes, hiding, running away further. Which is why these are one of those weird cases where you want the parents with you in the field calling their name, letting them know it's all right to come out if they're out there. I don't know if they did it, but I'm just saying in my experience, that's what you have to do. Now, the woods in Tennessee can be really thick, wet. And in this area, it's very rural. And this is like a few streets on this little housing tract right here where they live. But you can see all the blue are bodies of water, creeks, rivers, streams. And that's on the north side of the main road here. On the south side, it doesn't seem as though there is much. Now, missing people don't usually cross roads because a road will indicate you can find people. So this would be the area they'd be searching if he was missing.
Missing people don't usually cross roads. That's very interesting.
The police have been very quiet about this case. Normally, they come out and they'll say right away, It just seems to be a straight missing persons case, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's possibility there's crime, blah, blah, blah. No, on this one, they're being very, very quiet. So my gut tells me you got to play it both ways. You got to play it as a missing person, and you got to play it as a crime. Now, within the last several days, parents have gone out and searched parks in the area. It was unexplained why they are searching these parks, which aren't right in that area, but they are. And they said that they tried to get CCTV footage from other homes in the area.
Sebastian.
If they did, they're not giving it up. But if somebody has a flashlight and they're walking your neighborhood at 3:10 in the morning, I'd want to eliminate homeowners, and it's not a big area, maybe 25 homes. I want to eliminate homeowners as the people that were out maybe looking for a dog, taking their dog to the bathroom. If I was a detective on the case, I'd knock on every home in that area, seeing if they were out.
You know what I was deciding yesterday? I've never showed you the download because I didn't want to disclose who sent it to me. But when I find that in my email of this, I have showed you the clip of it. It's literally the same video that the mob crew's been going over for months now with two people walking with flashlights, and they separate. It's not a garbage truck. So this police, statement about this being a garbage truck is just malarkey, in my opinion.
At 3:10 that night.
Just my opinion.
If they were, that eliminates the flashlight scenario. If they weren't, I'd ask them if they have any CCTV footage in the front of their house or in the back of their house. I'd then pull every burglary report in that area in the previous 6 months, every suspicious person report, every arrest within 3 miles of that house. What does that do? It tells you the people that are hanging around that area.
Well, hope.
And then I'd run.
Okay, do y'all remember when we played the audio? We can go back and listen to the audio again here. We can listen to what I played here before when Justin from Clutch Them Pearls came up and we talked about the audio. And it was dismissed as not valid audio. And again, we're going to listen to this again in a recent update, again, dismissing this audio with the flashlight video. Do you remember, Hope? Where I'm gonna get goosebumps. I said I got the feeling that maybe they used an anchor or something to tie him down at first. And one of the neighbors popped into one of my chats and said, yes, the motor was missing off that boat. But then when we listened to the audio, remember, it sounds like they're almost cranking a boat, right? Like almost cranking a boat. So good point. Good point. But yeah, we can go back and listen to that audio that doesn't exist.
Every name through a database to see if there's any sexual deviance.
Now, it's possible that audio that also says 3 a.m. when you see those flashlight videos that's attached to the same video as the flashlight videos. Could be that it doesn't say anything of interest in this case. It could be. But we've all listened to it and we thought we heard sounded like CP and KP's voice. So yeah, it's very curious.
That live close by.
It's a narrative like we saw with the RCMP versus what they maybe believe in the background.
I know it seems like a lot of work, but you start an investigation and it's this way, and you slowly narrow it down. And this happened February 26th. I have, rest assured, detectives are on it. I know the way they think. They're methodical.
No, what I said is that when I downloaded, somebody sent me something that they found and how to get to it. And when I downloaded the clip, you can see it's got the same laneway view of the house at the corner on Holly Lane that the mob crew keeps going through. It's one of the videos. The audio is attached to one of the videos, but the audio is separate in this case. There's no video attached to it. It's separate. They could not be traced in a boat travel. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Hope.
Find Sebastian. I don't know where they're going to find him. I have a hunch they're going to find him. He's a high-functioning autistic person. His parents described him as very smart. Again, he's tall and thin. That's what he looks like. Wears glasses. Keep him in your prayers. Next case. A little different.
Okay.
But another young man, this time 14 years old, just a year.
Okay. I'm going to look for the audio. Hang on. I'm going to Hang on. I'm not going to look for it now. I'm looking for it now, but I got too many emails from this person back and forth. Hang on. Hang on. To see if I can pull it up. No, I don't have it yet, but I can pull it up. I've shown you before. And no, I have to find this video. Thank you. Which video are you talking about, honey? Which video are we talking about? Just be clear with me here on this. Really wish people would put that audio up, because technically if Ellie doesn't take it seriously, then it means nothing. So why not play it up the clean version? Well, Krista, that's very good timing, because listen to this. Because listen to this. This is a report that I didn't know, an update that came out how many months ago now? The FBI, 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Have you seen this? The FBI put out a statement. Well, it's actually Nick Barris's statement, News Channel 5. And this annoys the F out of me. Okay? This is really annoying, because y'all, if you don't know, Nick Barris was the one that first reported on these flashlights. Nick Barris is a local reporter, okay? And he was the first one to come out and talk about these flashlights. Then I get sent this, how to find this clip, okay? And the audio is attached to it. And then Nick Barris comes out and publicly says this video that everybody's talking about with the flashlights doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Nothing to see here. He does it again in this update. And I'm like, what? You are disparaging. He's a journalist. He's a journalist and he's very seasoned. So are you telling us that you brought out facts that you lied about or you were not clear on when you first reported them? Or are the police telling you to keep it quiet, Nick? Because that's where I think this is. Listen to this.
The most seasoned of investigators for a year and a half. That's how long it's been since Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Hendersonville home. Nick Barris tells us in that time, the FBI has been able to disprove 2 theories.
So many have closely followed this case and continue to ask and hope for updates. The FBI just issued a full synopsis of where things stand today. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville home on February 26, 2024. The 15-year-old with autism did not take any clothes, shoes, money, food, or his cell phone. His mother only reported a small yellow flashlight was missing. A massive search, including TBI and Sumner County Sheriff's investigators, covered a 4.5-mile radius around Sebastian's home. That's roughly 44,000 acres, and no sign of the teen.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
The FBI says agents have now followed through every one of the hundreds of tips. However, they have yet to produce any solid leads.
So I sent the FBI the audio clip that I had, and this is a statement, according to Nick Barris from the FBI, that they've searched everything and they have no solid leads. So that means the Memphis FBI that I sent my audio to, I know Tara from Another Realm sent it also. It proved nothing. It proved nothing.
Several months have indeed passed, but Sheriff Eric Craddock has said,
it's not a cold case. It's an active and ongoing investigation.
The FBI now does disprove 2 theories. One involving security video, which I obtained early in the investigation, showing what appeared to be lights outside Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. Agents say,
okay, so
the dark sky and camera angle.
The clip that I have shows this bottom corner here, this house. The clip that I have of the audio is the house across from this house, and it's pointing towards this house with all the cars in the laneway on the very bottom of the screen. That's the audio that I have. And this narrative of the 2 flashlights being a garbage truck, Nick Barris himself first reported it. He's a seasoned investigator, and now they are asking him, and he's done this before, to say it's not valid. Not valid. Nothing to see here. Kind of just what we went through with the RCMP. Their public statement and what they're saying behind the scenes is different in the RCMP's case. So do the RCMP and the FBI actually believe that these are garbage trucks? It's very curious that Sebastian also took a flashlight. But here's the other interesting thing about this flashlight. The person carrying the flashlight, there's two of them, and it looks like almost a third person's being carried. It looks like the third person is being carried. And Sebastian also took his flashlight out. See, that's why I think that's the defense coming in about Sebastian taking his flashlight. I don't believe for a minute Sebastian took his flashlight. I think the flashlights are KP and CP themselves. And the person that looks like they may be carrying might have well been Sebastian. And maybe they hid that flashlight or sent it with him so that it wouldn't be suspected as to who is flashing that flashlight. But you all remember, I have not been able to watch the Mob Crew because he's been on this for months and months and months. The same videos and months. But it's very suspicious that it looks like one of those two adults, in my opinion, actually went back into Sebastian's house with the flashlight and then never came back out. So how could that be Sebastian? How could that be Sebastian? Much BS. Is it clear? And why you tell someone else that they said they've seen a video or something carrying them and was told, no, you didn't? Well, this is just it. It's the police spinning a narrative. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Is it like the RCMP? They're trying to protect the case. Could be. But I do not believe there is nothing to see here about this flashlight or this audio. Absolutely do not believe this at all. And we will go back and play this audio that we played before with Sebastian Rogers. And those of you that haven't heard it will get to listen for yourselves on whether you think, and you'll see this photo. You'll see this bottom house, the clip that I was sent. The other thing that is so interesting to me, okay, the person that came out and told the Mob Crew that my audio was BS is Stephen Crabtree, who is rumored to be now living in the house of Sebastian because rumored again only, Stephen Crabtree tried to commit suicide months back, maybe a year ago now. His house burnt down. And now Chris and KP tried to sell their house. And now apparently, another alien abduction. Exactly, Jerry Lynn. Now apparently Stephen Crabtree is living in Sebastian Rogers' house. What are the odds of that? And Stephen Crabtree's the one that kept dismissing my audio, dismissing it. Were the police telling him that you friggin' released this and now you're in trouble? That's what I said before he even moved into Sebastian's house. I mean, what are the odds that he's moved into Sebastian's house now? What are the odds? The tiny flashlight didn't even work. It was a toy, little non-working because it broke, but it gave them an option. You're exactly, yes, I think it was their defense in case these flashlights of us going back and forth to the house or back from the house, back into the house, carrying what looks like a possible body to another car. That's the protective narratives that Sebastian took the flashlight. That's just my opinion. Because listen to this. They're also going to say right in a minute now that the green hoodie that came up to Texas Roadhouse that stood beside Katie, we all watched the video. In fact, I was the one that said there's evidence at Texas Roadhouse. Bring it out. Long before that ever came out, that video for Texas Roadhouse. I said there's evidence at Texas Roadhouse that needs to come out. And the dog, the bounty hunter, and his team at night brought that video out of Texas Roadhouse. And that woman in the green hoodie, listen to this, because Nick Barris and the FBI tell us you didn't see anything there. That woman talking to KP, that mysterious lady that was talking to KP that Sebastian was staring at wearing the green hoodie in Texas Roadhouse, that was bullshit too, y'all. That was just your imagination. You didn't see anything there that looked suspicious. I mean, come on. That's what he's about to say. Listen.
Combined had distorted the security footage, and lights were actually from a truck away from the home. They have also now debunked the theory that a person in a green hoodie spotted their Sebastian at a restaurant before he disappeared.
I got to watch this again. Look at this. Listen to this. Look at these lights. Look at these lights. There's one here, and there's lights here. That's not a freaking trash light truck. I mean, a light from a trash truck. That's 10 miles apart. That would be like the truck grew wings and split into half, like it's got, you know, some magical powers, because that's not a headlight far away from that headlight. Like, what the hell? I don't know what kind of idiot these people think we are. They think we're just so stupid that we're going to believe this. And now he goes on to say the woman we all saw at Texas Roadhouse, standing beside KP's car when she and Sebastian were leaving, talking to KP, slipping KP something. We didn't see anything there either. Just close your eyes, everybody. This is just nothing nonsensical. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. You all are mistaken. Listen to this. Nick Barris, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Theory that a person in a green hoodie spotted near Sebastian at a restaurant before he disappeared was in any way involved. The Amber Alert for Sebastian does remain active, and the FBI is offering $50,000 for any information that leads to his whereabouts. They do encourage the public to continue to call in tips to 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Now, there's another one. Nothing to see here. No evidence. The kid just walked out the door. But just in case, we're going to offer rewards. We're going to just offer rewards. Who here saw that Texas Roadhouse video? Who here saw it? And for that narrative to be that woman had nothing to do with it. I mean, she was just there talking like a stranger. She sat there for over 2 minutes waiting for KP to come out, hiding behind her car. Sebastian staring at her. Oh, that's just a coincidence. I mean, this woman, this absolute stranger, the not last time Sebastian was ever seen, just walks up to your car and talking to you, but there's no correlation. That's the last night we've ever seen Sebastian. That's literally the last time he was ever seen on camera. Okay. I mean, do you all believe there's nothing to see there? Tell me if I'm losing my marbles here. Do you believe that there's nothing to see? Do you believe Nick Barris in this update? Nothing to see here with the flashlights or the red hoodie lady. I don't. Okay. I think I had the same video twice in my link. No. Here's another one. Sorry. Here's Seth going up. Thank gosh for Seth. Dad, Sebastian's dad, coming on and keeping these reports up to date. This is also 2 months ago at the same time Nick Barris reported this insanity on Channel 5. Seth went out and made a statement. We're going to watch this if you haven't seen this one. Cleo that has CP saying it's a flashlight the neighbor had while taking the trash out. So there's more than one excuse. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I know. It's wild. Okay, let's listen in here. We've got another quick report here. This is Seth Rogers on WKRN News, and then we've got another couple things to show you. One quick update, rather, from Seth, and then I've got something to show you that I taped and another video. So we've got 3 more things after this with Sebastian, so stick around. This one's short.
1.5 years since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville home.
And since then, his father says he's had no answers from investigators. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry shows us what he's doing this week to change that.
I'd like to know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is.
He deserves to be at home. He deserves to be around somebody that loves him.
Sebastian Rogers vanished in February 2024. Search efforts stretched across Sumner County, bringing in the TBI, FBI, and multiple local agencies. But after a little over a week, Sumner County Sheriff's Office announced they were scaling back and shifting their focus on the investigative side.
Michelle, you got to stick around. Do you think Jack and Lily's crazy? Well, Sebastian is easily a match, for the effery in this case. So we're going to go back to the beginning with Sebastian, and you're going to want to stick around for the audio, the green hoodie, and all the rest of the shenanigans in this case, because it's as crazy gets.
Since March of last year, the sheriff's office hasn't held a press conference on the case. And Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian, says his calls to investigators have gone unanswered.
They won't speak to me since I sent them an email telling them about 15 things they needed to check. And if they hadn't done it, then you haven't done your job.
A year and a half later, Seth Rogers says he still has had no answers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and that's why he's out here today, demanding to know an update to his son's case.
While you up there in that office, I hope you're working on finding my son, because I'm waiting.
With a microphone in hand, joined by friends and supporters holding signs reading "Justice for Sebastian," Seth says he won't stop.
I don't get to take my son hunting or fishing. I don't get to play video games with him. I don't get to play cards. I don't get to watch movies. I get nothing while you're up there in your office.
We just want Sumner County to do something different to get different results.
Even retiring Sumner County District Attorney Ray Whitley says he is anxious to see this case solved.
There is more work to be done. Certainly we want to have answers at some point, and I hope and pray that we do.
But Seth says until that happens, he is not leaving. He plans to stand outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office every day this week, and for, quote, as long as it takes. He's asking for the community to join him.
Do you expect your children to be safe? Because for the last year and a half, my son isn't, and he's not doing his job to get it done.
News 2 reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff for a statement. He says this is still an active investigation and the department is continuing to follow leads in coordination with the FBI and TBI. If you have any information regarding Sebastian Rogers' whereabouts, you're asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838 or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Haley.
Personally, I would say call Memphis FBI. That's what I would say. Call Memphis FBI. That's where I sent my the audio tape. I know, and he did stay out there for the whole week. And good on him. Thank God. But yeah, so this is a post from Seth he made. It appears that you guys may know this, Lolly, I don't know her. Sorry, y'all. There's so many true crimers. It's impossible to keep up with everybody. But apparently she went and emailed the White House asking the White House to cover this and to look into it. And Seth updated us here. And it's sad. This is November 17th. The White House writes Seth Rogers about the letter that was sent to him on behalf of him, I believe from Lally. I'm not 100% positive, but well, he says it right here. Just received this email, these via email from Lolly, who's a YouTube channel creator, and she sent this on behalf of Seth to the White House. And it reads, Dear so-and-so, thank you for your email to President Donald Trump on behalf of Mr. Seth Rogers regarding his concerns about his son, Sebastian. The White House referred your correspondence to the Children's Bureau located within the Administration for Children and Families, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for review. So a lot of people were very critical of this statement, but I see it as positive and not positive. There's some trinkets of positivity rather. So, I mean, they did forward it on for review. The Children's Bureau is the federal agency responsible for helping states to improve the safety and well-being of the nation's children and youth. I understand that this must be a difficult situation for Mr. Rogers. Well, that's an understatement of the century. Although the federal government does not have the ability to help directly, I encourage you to share the following information with your friend. So they have forwarded, though, the very first sentence. Who's getting harassed? The very first statement is, paragraph, they forwarded it to review. So I don't know that it's all that discouraging. But then it gets a little bit more sort of, detached, if you will, not our problem. I understand this must be difficult, but share this following information with Mr. Rogers. Since Mr. Rogers does not know the whereabouts of his son, he may wish to contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The center provides services to families and law enforcement in cases of missing children and offers prevention tips for parents. For more information, please contact 1-800-843-5678 or visit, and they link the site. Similarly, the Federal Bureau of Investigation collaborates with the NCMEC to investigate missing children cases that cross state boundaries. To request assistance, Mr. Rogers may contact the appropriate local FBI field office a list of field offices is available at. Well, the FBI is already somewhat involved, so that's sort of not super helpful. Child Find of America, Inc. is a national nonprofit organization that provides professional services to prevent and resolve child abduction and the family conflicts that can lead to abduction and abuse. For confidential assistance, call 1-800-426-5678. Parents Help, a service of Child Find, offers free confidential telephone assistance for parents on finding solutions to custody and visitation disputes, mediating, cooperating plans, and understanding custody, child support, and the court system. For more information, you may contact the number above or visit the Child Find of America website at. All state agencies have policies in place, grievances, and monitor systems operations according to applicable laws and regulations. And Mr. Rogers is dissatisfied with the child welfare. Well, I would suggest he probably is dissatisfied because, you know, they haven't found his son. Tennessee Commission of Children's and Youth, Andrew Johnson. So they just tell him where to go here. Again, finally, the National Parent and Youth Helpline is an organization designed to support and strengthen families across the country. Please encourage Mr. Rogers to connect with the helpline to speak with trained counselors and therapists who can listen to his concerns and offer support. I mean, I think Seth probably gave them, I hope this information proves useful, Joseph J. Bach, Acting Associate Commissioner for Children's Bureau. I mean, I'm sure Seth wanted to give them a big FU. Hey, Tyler, I'm sure Seth wanted to give them a big FU in response to that because, yeah, exactly, Krista, because obviously he's not satisfied with what they're doing. And all Seth wants to do is find his damn son. He doesn't need counseling. I mean, he probably could benefit from it. There's no doubt about that. But that's not what Seth's after. Seth's not after that. Seth is after finding his child. And that's what Seth's after. So we have two more videos here. We're going to play Can-Am. Oh, no, I already played that. So we got one more video here for you that I taped here. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen. Because let me see if I can. Makes me so mad. Obviously, yeah. Not when you got Ellie not doing their job. I hope he wrote them in back and said, I've done it all. Yeah, I know, eh? It's just, I know. It's upsetting. It's absolutely upsetting. Okay. I am gonna try to get this video file that I taped. I had to tape because I don't have. What did I call it? Let me, what did I call it? Sorry, y'all. It's the one thing I provided a link. Hang on. I provided a link because I forgot that I, Okay, let me just look for it. If not, I'll play it in my email. I just don't know how well, if we're going to be able to hear it because I've tried to do this before. Oh, man. It's just a crazy case. I mean, they all are. Okay, sorry, everybody. I should have been more prepared. This is the one thing that I didn't do. Come on. Okay, let me just try this again because I think it's in my Google Drive. I know it's in my Google Drive. Well, I thought it was. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to try and do it this way. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you? I'm just got to see if I can get it up so you can hear it. Y'all, everything was going so smoothly. Everything was going so smoothly. Okay, let's see if you can hear this. You may have seen this or heard this before, some of you. Let me know if you can hear this.
Weird. All over the fucking internet that people.
Where's it at?
Okay, this was released on at night, which I can only get from my my personal. So I think I've got it here. I think I got it here now. It's okay, Liane. No, I've got it. Let me tell me if you can hear it. I think you can hear it now. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh my God, where did it go? I got it up on the screen. Now I can't find it in my email. Hold on. Gotta love technology. Okay, I've got it up twice. Okay, let's tell me if you can hear it.
Nothing. It's everywhere. All over the fucking internet that people have released all these stupid ass shows and all these fucking Facebook things. It was never out there until that bitch opened her fucking mouth. I'm telling you, I am being very polite as I can possibly be to her. Mm-hmm. If she don't find a fucking way to fix it, I promise her I am not going to be so goddamn pleasant when I see her.
Okay.
And I will bring the fucking cops with me.
All right. Well, I'll talk to her. I mean,
there's a difference in helping find Sebastian and just being a stupid fucking cunt, web slut, or sleuth, whatever the fuck that woman's name is.
Web sleuths.
Yeah, whatever. It was on that fucking show.
I can't see Chloe just giving out that information though.
She did. You're missing my statement. Okay. I didn't say she gave the information out. I said.
Okay. This is another audio rather, if you will, that at night just released October 25th on their X page. They're the ones, if you're new to Sebastian Rogers, currently helping Seth with this. And this is another clip of Mr. Proudfoot losing his, you know what, which we were listening to another one of that before. Yeah, imagine what Sebastian went through, Veronica. This is the stepdad. This is what he's like. He doesn't know he's being recorded, but this is what he's like all the time. Listen, it's disturbing.
She made a statement that she had it and wouldn't fucking release it. That right there was a trigger to start this fucking shitstorm when she shouldn't have opened her fucking mouth in the beginning.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of fucking PI or whatever the fuck she thinks she is or how she does this, but if she needs a fucking education and then schooling on being a PI, I guarantee you I'll find somebody who was truly a PI and let them school the fuck out of this woman. She started a shitstorm.
So what happened? What happened was she came out and said on Web Sleuths, she was the PI Seth had hired at the time. There was 2 PIs. Oh, I know. I'm already mad. He's so aggressive. He thinks he's so smart. Oh, I know. And one of the PIs went on and said that KP, Sebastian's mom, was assaulted, SA'd as a child. And she disclosed this of Sebastian's mom's private personal background on the channel. So I understand being upset. But listen to this. KP is trying to talk in the background about how this upset her. And Chris is just barreling right through her. Like he could care less about his wife being upset and traumatized over this. He's just angry with the PI. Like it's all the way around disgusting. Every way you cut it. Listen.
She better figure out how to fucking fix it. Personally, I think everybody fucking starts looking for shit.
Yeah.
Ain't even worth the fucking bacteria of the foam that forms on the fucking worst form of bacteria on Earth. That's what I truly feel.
Yeah, I feel you. I hear you. I can feel it through the phone.
Trust me, Chloe's lucky I'm not standing in fucking front of her. Like I said, I will bring the fucking cops when I see her.
Okay, well.
And it was more my protection than hers. Because right now, you can inform her. She fucking calls me, says my fucking name, anything of that fucking nature involving Katie or me or anybody else, I'm going to slap the shit out of her with the same fucking thing I told you. I will cease and desist letter and then let her open her fucking mouth one more time. And then I've got her dead to fucking rights.
I think that's
I'm
the
trying
only.
to be as civil as possible. Not my PI.
I mean, that's civil.
She's not.
That's
It
civil.
still fucking mean a goddamn thing to me.
Right.
If she was on fire, I wouldn't piss on her to put her out. She ain't fucking careful. She's fucking sloppy. But if she ain't got the fucking audacity to give me a working fucking phone number.
And KP let this man married him, care for her son. Get that through your brain. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's disgusting. Can't even get a sentence out without, but I know. It's just, I know. Tyler, I know. Oh, I know. Hey, Tyler, were you the one that sent me that cryptic email? Was that you about logging on to something else? Oh yeah, I haven't heard that one yet. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna listen to all this again as we go through this crazy case.
She better not fucking reach out to me. And that Google shit ain't a fucking true number.
Yeah, that's the same number that Seth has, though. I will tell you that.
I'm not Seth.
Yeah.
I have the balls and the fucking spine to call people out on shit.
I figured it was you, hon.
Maybe her head's so fucking twisted because she's too emotionally involved. I don't fucking know it, but whatever the fuck it is, she better goddamn fucking figure it out and redial herself the fuck back in. The fuck is this bitch on fucking on these goddamn interviews? She started a fucking fire shitstorm.
What was the purpose of making that statement, knowing full damn good and well that the
Trust me.
we're going to dig?
Seth can have his fucking PIs. I don't need PIs.
So,
listen to this. KP's upset and
She opened
he
her
just
mouth.
barrels over her.
Made the statement. She's the catalyst to the fucking storm that is now brewing. It doesn't take much. I can go out there, open my mouth, say one fucking word, and I could almost break the fucking internet. Look what I did the other night when I got on that show. When you said I wanted on the show, that shit fucking almost broke the fucking internet. No, that's the one time I went out there and stated the fucking facts.
Yeah.
I didn't go berserk.
Oh, I didn't go
I'm
berserk.
fucking pissed.
Okay.
There's a difference in berserk, stupid, psychotic, and every other adjective you want to add into it.
Well, I think you're all
did,
of them.
and I had every fucking right to say what I said. Nothing I said was fucking false. Nothing.
I didn't say it was. I don't think anything you said was false.
I don't know.
When I told her exactly how many dogs, where they all went, what they've all done, she's like, there's nothing I can really do or offer at this point other than to assist in a search if needed.
Yeah.
Once we did, that starts talking.
I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth, I promise you, it won't ever open again.
Wow.
And you can tell her those are my fucking words, not yours.
He's
Mine.
threatening Seth to never open his mouth again.
Oh, I don't. When you're a fucking amateur PI and you do some stupid shit like she's done,
yep.
You explain to me how anything, and I've even told you this, how the certain things that y'all have done on fucking YouTube and all this shit, how the fuck it does anything to help find Sebastian, other than just put shit out there. It doesn't. It has left y'all down a what? Completely empty fucking road.
Obviously, we haven't found him, so.
Exactly.
You know.
I got thinking about this the other night when you and I talked.
Listen to poor KP. I mean, she's traumatized because her personal life about her being SA'd as a child by her own mother was publicly brought out. And I don't blame her and Chris for being upset. But she's crying in the background and CP's just barreling right through her. Like, this guy could care less about his wife's upset. Like, absolutely. He's a little wiener. He's just a little wiener. And I bet she's got a little wiener too. Oh, CPS and CP wasn't allowed at the house. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes. Now I'm going to do, Michelle, we're going to be deep diving, honey. Don't you worry. We're going to be deep diving. I'm going back to the beginning on this case. I have a spreadsheet of 102 different interviews on this case, and we're going to go through them all. Oh my, feels so intelligent and strong, confident against women, disrespecting them, and tells how much Sebastian went through. Oh, it's sad. Can you imagine? Could you imagine what Sebastian went through as an autistic child? Yeah, I know. Krista's like trying to control the chat. Liane's going, yeah, let's go get him. And Krista's like, please, no swearing in the chat. Oh my God. He totally is joyful. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know. I know. You know, it's like, it's just crazy. So again, going forward, just so y'all know, I'm moving this time. I feel so much more in flow. I thank you all for being here. 4 o'clock, I just started randomly because 4 is my favorite number, but man, I'm up all night thinking about these cases. So I've reversed and I'm so much more in flow. I did my reading, which will be on Jack and Lily in the Barn. It's going out at 3 p.m. today. And now I got the live, and now I'm going for a walk after this in a minute. And then I'm doing my writing, and it's so much better for me. So I love you all and appreciate you all for being here. Now, Thursday, I will be doing a live in the evening because I'm going to spend the day with my daughter and my granddaughter. She's got the day off, and I haven't seen Rory in a while. So, but tomorrow I'll be back at 11. We're going to do Jack and Lily and Sebastian, going forward, and updates on all the other cases that we covered like we did earlier today. So 11 o'clock tomorrow. Joyful, I'll stand up to him. I have no fear. Yeah. So listen to the last minute of his 2 minutes of his crazy talk here. It's wild.
You said you don't want to sound like a liar or anything. You're right, you don't. And that's great. But now you got information out there that actually has.
You're welcome, honey. You're
absolutely
welcome.
fucking
Yes,
zero to
I
do
will,
with anything.
Krista.
So there's no clues. There's nothing up to what y'all have released.
Do you guys?
Got a friend of mine who is highly respected.
A friend of mine.
All of a sudden, he made a good point. He didn't tell me that. I was like, you know what? You're very valid on that. Very valid.
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
I don't understand what purpose it serves to bring through with. I mean, let's just be honest. I was violated.
Well,
she was violated. Poor KP.
I don't understand why that needs to be.
Well,
yeah,
it is what it is.
And so KP's in the background. I was violated. Yeah, she truly, her mom SA'd her, and her mom went to jail, as did her mom's boyfriend, her own stepdad, for apparently unaliving somebody. And she was violated, but Chris just barrels through. He's like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, you just finished reaming this person, and as your wife's crying, it's like, yeah, whatever.
I gotta get up and get ready to go to work. I don't have my GoFundMe page to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.
And you can hear poor Heather in the background. Like, how do I deal with this narcissistic? Slap him and go. Oh, Dolphin, let me tell you, I'd probably want to beat the poop out of him too, but something tells me he's probably physically strong. But anyways, yes, so everybody, thank you for being here. We will be back tomorrow, same time, 3 hours today. Don't know how long we'll run tomorrow. But we will be back for Sebastian, Jack, and Lily, and all the other cases we're following, and any updates. And if you want, we can start to go through the audio tomorrow. Do you want me to bring the audio back up and we can listen to that again? Yeah, it is very sad. We can go back and listen to the audio on Sebastian Rogers tomorrow if you would like, and we could make that all Sebastian tomorrow. I can show you the link and we can download it. And if I can find it in my email, which I'm sure I can, and then we can listen to the lives where I played it, or we can just, because I had to put it through programs that I don't have anymore that I was paying for, that I couldn't keep running because I just couldn't pay for them. And actually, I also ran it through a lot of free programs. I'm sorry, I had to restate that. So yeah, we can do that tomorrow, but let me see what else. We will go back through the audio for sure, Krista. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Krista says yes to the audio. Okay, let's listen to the audio again tomorrow. And yeah, it's really an upsetting case as well. Both these cases, these kids need to be found. So thank you for being a voice with me to keep their faces out there, their stories out there, to keep the cases alive, and hopefully to bring them home, hopefully alive and sooner than later. So we will see everybody tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern again for Sebastian, Rogers, Jack, and Lily, and any other case updates. We'll go through the audio tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow for Sebastian. And if you want to send me anything that you find, please send it to me. I can't get into Facebook. So if you see anything on Facebook on Jack and Lily, you need to send me a screenshot because I can't get in there as of now. And don't forget, at 3 p.m. today, in an hour, my reading is going out on some Jack and Lily on that Black Barn. You're going to want to see that too. Love and light, everybody. And in that video, I will be moving the psychic stuff over to the separate channel because they're both basically named the same. I've been planning this for a long time. So the SEO is picking up both. But because of that, you may have had a hard time finding it. So the link to the new channel, if you want the psychic stuff, because eventually I'm not going to do psychic stuff here. It's just going to be lives, just case discussions, but all the psychics, channeling, and downloads and tarots will be on the other channel. So you'll see in that tarot video today, you'll see the link to the new channel. Click on that. And when we get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to start doing everything over there, that's psychic, channeling, downloading, and hear all the discussions that aren't. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Love and light. Truly appreciate you all. Couldn't do this without you and your help and your emails with leads and updates on cases and things that you found that interesting, and for supporting me here. And if you want to be a member, it's $2.99 a month. So go check out the other videos if you haven't seen them, or to the membership link. And we'll see you all tomorrow. I love you all. I appreciate you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.